Mm-hmm. Alright, we are back. Finally with Raging Reaper for long last. God, that's a terrifying fucking sight. Oh! 2 fucking bit the dust? Let's fucking go, dude. Okay, so my fly pot problem should be getting taken care of here momentarily. I say momentarily because I hope so. We concocted the mixture that's supposed to fuck them up. There's more than I care to admit when it comes to how many there are, because I'm a dumbass. But they are successfully dying. They're staying away from me. There's like 1 or 2 that are like, we should investigate. The bowl that I placed to kill them is not in the smartest situation, or smartest area. I'm gonna be honest. It should technically be next to my computer. But that's fine. Honestly, there's like... I'm probably gonna still be swatting them for a period of time. What's being said. Anyway, we're back to playing Raging Loop. I'm sorry that it's taken me this long to get back into playing this. This game is fun, don't get me wrong. I should like be abundantly clear here. I did not stop playing this game because I was not having fun with it, or I didn't enjoy the story, or I didn't enjoy the characters. There are 3 factors, okay? I want to make this abundantly clear because I do think this is legitimately an amazing game. And it's completely my fault that we didn't get to continue playing it. 1, I did not want to be on Facecam. I forced myself to be on Facecam for Danganronpa because I had to, but with the fly situation going on and me just kind of letting myself go, I'm going to keep looking to the left to make sure, see what the damage is. But that's fine. I just didn't want to be on camera with just everything going on. 2, based on how the story was going, I get the feeling it's going to affect me in way more of a way than it probably should. So I was too scared to play because I didn't want that to affect the stream itself too. And thirdly, really don't know. I was really trying to figure out how I wanted to tackle like the post-game stuff, the second loop, or the second thing. We'll worry about that in due time. So, anyway, let us continue. So last time, it's been a minute since last time. So what happened? We faced off against our mountain of a man friend. This is 511. I don't know, where are we right now? We are in darkness. Okay. So we lost. So to bring everyone up to speed, since it has been a bit, everyone is alive in this sort of world. I'm trying to think who did die. Did anyone die? I don't think anyone died. No, Chiemi died because she sudoku'd herself. She suicided in a weird way, and no one knows what to think of that. So there's that. But we're going up against, what up, Cybernetic? Long time no see. Mountain Man dude, the photographer, who I'll remember the names in due time. It's been a while. He kind of tricked us into trying to claim a role that we weren't, and things went off the hinges. So now we are going to skip ahead and raise our hand to say that we want to be investigated. So yeah, as a wolf, I didn't want to be investigated before anyone else. Even so, I raised my hand. Not raising it might be seen as asking that I not be investigated. Until the 6 people raised their hands. Kanzo-san, Kiyonosuke-shi, Yasunaga-kun, Mamiya-san. I think that's Mamiya. Sorry, I can't see my mouse, but yeah. Yudai Hashimoto. Exactly. That's Yudai is the guy in the bottom right. You can't see my mouse because it's just gonna be too distracting. So Kanzo was the old man on the left, the guy with his arms crossed. Kiyonosuke-shi is the guy with the glasses in the far back on the top. Yasunaga-kun is the guy with the glasses, the kid in the glasses in the front. Mamiya-san is the woman sitting next to Hashimoto, the mountain dude. Yoshitsugu-kun, who is the guy with the ripped chest, and me. Which means that Old Man Tei Takumi, as humans go, Old Man Tei Takumi, who is the actual snake, Mochi Kako Mako, didn't say anything. Upon seeing who raised their hands, they instantly understood the nature of the trap. Those who wanted to have a voice in the feast simply had to raise their hands here. Being a proven human was necessary if you wanted to have influence and a voice here. The feast was a game of politics disguised as a game of logic. Since the murders couldn't be scientifically investigated, you had to present possible suspects purely on circumstantial evidence. However, whether the others believed that or not was up to them to decide. And since circumstantial evidence, no matter how much of it remained circumstantial, it was entirely possible to make a fool of yourself by treating it like direct proof. There's also the fear of death, as well as religious faith. Not many people were capable of deciding everything for themselves in this situation. Those who didn't have confidence in their own decisions left the choice to others, specifically the popular, capable leaders. There were the ones who didn't raise their hands. They were too slow to realize how to react to this because they needed explanations and guidance from their leaders. Those who wanted to be leaders, on the other hand, were constantly waiting for opportunities to consolidate power by proving themselves right. Wait, what are you getting at? Imagine that we all agree that the snake would investigate you today, and tomorrow we would ask them to reveal themselves if they found a wolf. If they don't reveal themselves, it would mean you were safe. You wouldn't be needlessly suspected. Oh, I get it. The snake found a human today, too, but until they reveal themselves, that won't be of any use to us. I've approved of this, too. Then please investigate me as well. Can you investigate me, too? I would like that, too. Me, too. Everyone else now raised their hands like the followers they were. Uh-huh. Old man. Yeah, the 2 people who don't understand what's going on. Yeah. Besides the monkeys, the ones who weren't raised... Oh, who's the monkeys? Who are the monkeys this time? Is it Mochi and... Old Man? Mochi and Old Man are monkeys, right? Follow the logic. If they don't reveal themselves as possible, they got killed. True. Besides the monkeys, the ones who weren't raising their hands either didn't understand the situation at all or missed the right time to hide their hope that they wouldn't be investigated. We didn't have any of those. Both Haru-chan and Kori-san knew what they had to do. However, my only option in this situation was to raise my hand at the first opportunity. Hashimoto and Mochi. Oh, that's right. But Hashimoto's dominating so easily that he's Hashimoto. True. I'd already done something to assert my wish to take a political lead. Besides that, I was a newbie who no one trusted, so I was likely a lynch target. Everyone probably assumed that I knew my situation. That was why I had to put myself ahead before anyone else. Otherwise, it would seem extremely likely that I was a wolf. This is cool. Hashimoto-san slowly looked at everyone. He stopped the moment his gaze was directed at me. It wasn't stern or cold. It was as calm and gentle as always. But I couldn't help sensing a powerful will behind it. The will of a cameraman, an observer, who wanted to know the true nature of his subject. This wasn't a battlefield, the wilderness, or some restaurant selling unusual cuisine. But he was, as always, remaining an observer. He stayed at an appropriate distance, blended in with the environment, and focused solely on observation. And if he noticed something crucial, he would simply call it out. It wouldn't be that his words would prompt some other event. His attack would be over the moment he spoke. That was just how precise his observations were. Was I being paranoid? No. He was the real deal. A true threat to me. He tested me just now. Suspected me. In that case, what came next would be, sorry about that. Please put your hands down. Of course you would raise your hands. If you have nothing to hide, you would obviously want to be investigated and prove your innocence. So who do we investigate? Personally, I would be more at ease if you were first. We outsiders are easy to suspect after all. But that's just what I want. Otherwise, what about Fusashi-kun? He seems pretty smart, so it'd be good to know if he's human, right? Actually, I had to avoid being investigated by the snake. You see, would that mean that he wouldn't be an option in today's lynching? Yes. If I wasn't a wolf, this would be nothing but a kindness from a fellow outsider. I wasn't certain if he was doing this on purpose. However, I was certain of one thing. Yudai Hashimoto was my enemy. The most formidable among everyone here, in fact. All that hard work to save him, and now I had to kill him. But I had to do it to survive. I wish I could say that's a good idea, but there's someone who should be investigated before me. Oh? And who would that be? I love the art for Hashimoto here. Sulky, her, Genius Hashimoto, true. Takumi-san. This was how I'd handle it. It was a setup for a future attack. Takumi-san will continue to be an important figure for the entire feast. It'll be harder for everyone to decide what to do if we don't know whether he's human or wolf. Well, he's not wrong. The outspoken ones are often stand out, which draws suspicion. In terms of importance, Takumi-san is roughly on the same level as Kanzo Makashima-san. I do want to feel secure. Jesus, dude. Get away, flies! Listen, there's like, I look to the left and I see the flies just in the bowl. And then there's one that's just like, I'm gonna pester you for the rest of your life. I probably should put some more apple cider. I don't know if this smells potent enough, but we'll see. I do want to feel secure, but I don't want to be criticized for prioritizing myself over the group as a whole. I don't mind if you're going to investigate me regardless. Do what I say. Or if I seem suspicious to you right now, you can even vote for me. I don't mind getting hanged for the sake of your victory. I prepared for that possibility last night. Jimmy-chan displayed impressive courage in what she did, and I would like to follow her example, even if I wouldn't be nearly as cool. Hauraki-sama. What do you think, Mochi? Takimi-ni, huh? Well, he's not wrong. Hey, can we just not hang him? I also don't think he's a wolf. That went well? Haru-chan was kind of overdoing it, but as long as she didn't take it any further, it'd be consistent with her act so far. I see. Then let's have the snake investigate Takumi Muro-san. Any objections? Silence, which is funny because Takumi is the snake. Are you okay with it yourself? Yeah, I don't mind. Then it's decided. They couldn't push any further. Now it was time to vote. What a waste of time. Uematsu were voting. Yes, I shall write them down. We continued talking for a short while after that, but it was mostly pointless chatter about what we should do and if anyone had any ideas. Hey, can we find out who the wolves are by setting up some cameras? If you say that here, the wolves will hear it too. It'd be pointless. Oh, right. Haru-chan did as I told her, displaying dedication toward contributing to the feast. A decent amount of time had passed since we started the feast, and it'd probably end right before the evening. Takumi-san was silent. He seemed against hanging people on a whim at first, but something had changed him somehow. Shimi was like a fellow pillar of the community, so it must have hit him pretty hard. At this point, the only one clearly opposed to the vote was Miya-san, but even then, she only had a hand on her forehead. And so the vote began. You first, old guy. Listening? You! Huh, me? Like a demon! Scary, scary! Still so much longer. Whatever, old man Kanzo, your turn. One for Yasu. Did I push things too far? Is it that weird to be opposed to lynching? You got a good head. Could be just an act. You're also your enemy, old man. Can't trust that without reason. Takumi-ni, it's fine. Move on. Then, Bachan, your turn. What a burden. One for the journalist. Wait, have I done anything suspicious? Hashimoto-san is a monkey, but I don't know about you. Calm down, Q-chan. I'm fine. I should have seen this coming. I was just surprised. My turn. One for the old wolf guy. I don't want to say this, but if you're just gonna say random stuff even in this situation, you're a nuisance to all of us. No one likes the wolf guy. You're suspecting someone else, right? You sure, huh? Holy shit, he said something. I don't know what you're talking about. Kori-san, you're next. Yasunaga, what do you think? Can I say who I'll vote for before it's my turn? It ain't a problem. I can't vote with certainty at this point. With that in mind, I can only pick someone who doesn't contribute to the feast, so don't just follow me without thinking. Just say it. I'm voting for the old wolf man. Mom, I want you to decide for yourself how to vote. Okay, so I will. One for Rikaku Uematsu. Jesus! I do not mind, but may I have a reason? I have a problem with how you presented Shime-chan's death. After all, it's possible that she was a wolf, right? Of all people, she was the one to say that? Then again, I was actually planning to mention it too. That was a smart move. What do you mean? I'm saying that it could have been a fight between wolves. Maybe they argued about whether they'd actually kill or not. Well, it was almost as if she was there herself, huh? Kanzo-shi was nodding. After all, in the feast, it was common sense that humans weren't the only ones who could die at night. By creating the possibility that Chimi was a wolf, we would mess up their assumptions about how many wolves there were left. Maybe Chimi-chan killed herself because she didn't want to kill. Wait, would that really count as a murder for the night? We actually can't be sure, but it's entirely possible that death due to discord between wolves counts. Then they left the corpse there, and then the beasts or something else came and made a mess of it, just like Fusashi-san suggested. In that situation, any capable wolf would want to insist that Chimi-chan was human, right? She said that while looking at Rokako-san, who praised Chimi's actions on the basis that she was a human. But no, I simply wanted to beautify Chimi-chan's actions. Fully aware that my comment was unnecessary, I took the stage. Suicide is sad, no matter what. It's hard for everyone left behind. But if we look at it in a positive way, we can stay positive too. Imagine that Rokako-san was just showing consideration for us all. I mean, that's fair. Suicide is a difficult thing. I took her side this time. She was an important person with special powers. It was better for her to die later. I couldn't deny that a part of me didn't want to kill her, but I ignored it. After all, following the betrayal, the only one suffering would be me. Right now, the important thing was to pretend to be a human fighting for the good fight against the wolves. Yeah, fight the good fight! Kori-san was a wolf and would probably be outed eventually. I had to make sure I wouldn't be suspected based on acting in support of her beforehand. I did think that, but most of all, I simply thought that Serizawa-sama displayed amazing bravery by trying to protect us. I didn't doubt that. Rokako-san might have been more traditional than anyone else in Fujiyoshi, but her heart remained good-natured. Alright, I'll let the rest decide for themselves. Your next Kyo... Fuck you, buddy! One for Haraki Fusashi-kun. Just like last time, you voted for me on the first day. Can I have a reason? Didn't you say it yourself? I knew I'd vote for you the moment you took the initiative, but refused to be investigated by the snake. I understand, though I don't think I should have been more selfish there. Well, next, like I said, I'm voting for the old wolf guy. He was the first one to get 2 votes. Yukamochi, you're next. Hasan, I guess? What? 2? Why? He's acting too serious. What do you mean? Nothing really. Hasan's usually more relaxed, that's it. The scary thing was that such random thoughts of his often hit the mark. Yoshi, who are you voting for? Uematsu. My reason's that I think the hag's got a point. You think you should think for yourself too? I did. I'm sticking to what I said. Also, I don't like how a village head's using one of our deaths to advantage. Haru, you're next. I'll vote for Uematsu-san too. Why must a woman who grieved for your loss be suspected so much? Is this how you repay her? Shut up. Let's just get this over this. Takumi-ni. Next, Rukaku Uematsu. One for Kari Oribe-sama. Retaliation, I suppose? Yes, I know I am human, and I find your reasoning unjust. You done? You're next, Mako. Sayuki-san! What? No! No, you can't do this, Mako. What? You mean Fusashi? Why him? Everyone's bad, but there's an order. Huh? What's she saying? I do not know either. Wait, could it be that she was... Everyone needs to, something. It's hang. Mako is the Badger. Oh my gosh. No way. No way. Mako's the Badger? Oh no. Gosh. We're not even 20 minutes in and I'm already like... Oh god. Crap, I couldn't use her no matter how hard I thought about it. Hell, she could totally give it away and ruin us. Oh, well, next. Fusashi? Alright. Right now I had 3 votes, as did Rokako-san. The old wolf guy had 2, while Takumi-san, Kari-san, Yasunaga-kun, and Mamiya-san had 1 each. To survive, I had to vote for Rokako-san or the old wolf guy. My vote would affect those of the remaining 2, the journos. If they both voted for me, it'd be game over. But if I was right about the nature of Hashimoto-san's actions, he was trying to decide whether I was clean or not. And if he decided that I wasn't, he would surely mentioned it before the vote began. It was possible that he would vote for someone else. I had no idea if Mamiya-san would follow his vote, but even if she didn't, it wasn't likely that she would vote for me. Basically, if I voted for Rokako-san, she would get 4 votes and most likely be lynched. And if I voted for the old wolf guy, we would have 3 votes, and depending on who the journos voted for, I could end up in the final vote. None of those with just 1 vote were particularly suspicious, so it was best to just disregard them altogether. I had to vote between Rokako-san and the old wolf guy, but honestly it wasn't much of a choice. Kuri-san's words about Rokako-san relied a decent amount on the assumption that the village heads were anti-Yasumizu, but that wasn't very credible. It would be strange for me to base my decision on that. We already had Haru-chan agree with Kuri-san's words, she didn't even give her own reason. I didn't want to be considered an ally of those who'd given up on thinking for themselves. Now all that mattered was who the remaining 2 would vote for. This could lead to another final vote, but I'd think about that then. I'm voting for the old wolf guy. Good idea. Why? I had to say something justified or useful to the humans. We're all well aware of how he behaves, but I think it's all an act. Our word surprised everyone. Why would you believe that? Actually, I couldn't say that I'd seen him make a decent play when he was a badger. I don't believe that a senile man can survive multiple feasts like this one. He's sometimes unresponsive and doesn't say a word to the very end, but when asked directly, he tends to answer immediately. When you look at it like that, he might just be ignoring or dancing around questions that are bad for him. It's a clever strategy. Wait a second, I voted for him myself, but don't you think you're overthinking it? Also, if that were true, don't you think he'd have avoided being in this dangerous situation? I think he might know a loophole. A loophole that doesn't kill you? I can't say for certain, but from what little I've seen, the place he sleeps at is basically a dilapidated wreck. I hadn't seen it this time around, actually, but no one would find my claim fishy. It didn't even look like it qualified as shelter, and yet he's alive. Now that you mention it, Hanzo Makishima-san, has he ever survived things he didn't seem capable of surviving? Can't say if he did or didn't, but I don't trust him. Guy's been a freak for as long as I've known him. He decided to ignore it all, apparently. If you know how to avoid the feast, please do tell us. If you do, I'll retract my vote. No one escapes the mountain. He's basically saying he won't cooperate with us no matter what. That's the basis for my vote. Alright, you're next, Miya-san. Can I just not vote? I don't want to be complicit in murder. You can't have that. We need to know who you doubt and who you support. Alright then, you, Haru Makishima-san. Jesus, that's out of left field. Huh? Haru, your reason? It's nothing major. I just picked the most suspicious one out of the ones who would definitely not be lynched today. I considered voting for Yamawaki-san at first, but there's no point in such petty revenge. You're saying that Haru-chan's more suspicious than me? If I had to choose between you, yes. You didn't say why she's suspected Uematsu-san, and her general attitude is strange. There's nothing certain there. It's not through Haru-chan's act, huh? I don't have any preferences here, but I don't believe that all the wolves are so cunning, cruel, and gutsy. There could be ones who are just cowering in fear of any votes that could come their way. It's a genuine issue to consider. That's why I'm voting for her. Seriously? That's it? That's so cruel. And so is this whole thing you're all doing. Please don't make a big deal out of this. Alright, you're last, Hashimoto-san. This is difficult, but even so, I will vote for the old wolf fellow. Let's fucking go! I'm settled then. Can you give us a reason? I believe I understand what kind of people you are now. I believe nominating you at this point in time would be strange. That's it, really. A simple reason. I see. Alright then. That gives them 4 votes. It's decided. Bring the rope. I need time. Shut it! I'd seen this before. Hanzo-san punched the old wolf guy, shocking some people. I was about to say, when he says he needs some time, he's just gonna kill somebody. In the end, upon getting the rope, Hanzo-san tied him up and went to hang him on the pine all by himself. I'll hang him myself. You go back. Old man, what's gotten into you? Conditions for it were different, but this event unfolded the exact same way as last time. This was just my assumption, but I believe that Hanzo-san had some sort of unfinished business with the old wolf guy. Perhaps he too suspected the old man would try something strange here. I imagine that the second time we play through this, we actually get to hear the crazy old guy's thoughts, and that reveals so much shit. That's what I'm guessing. The first time he said he needed time, everyone accepted it, and soon he and Mochi, who accompanied him, were found dead outside. Was he planning to do something before his execution? That something led to murders and made Hanzo-san forcefully drag him to the tree. It seemed significant to me. Dragging my feet in the line heading back to the dining hall, I thought about the old wolf guy. Was there some sort of way to make him talk? Maybe I could loop back and... No, he probably wouldn't react to anything I said. For now, I just had to be glad that I survived today's feast. I couldn't show it, of course. If there were any holes in anything I said today, it could prove trouble further down the line. Even so, I'd cast aside my doubts and take a step forward. I could win this. I would win this as a wolf. Good shit. Like last time, we ended up spending an awkward evening in the dining hall. Tae-san insisted that something bad could happen in the mist again, so she told us to stay inside. After that, Kanzo-san and Takumi-san came back. The former ignored all warnings and left again, but everyone else stayed inside. Takumi-san said that he didn't see Kanzo-san kill the old wolf guy. Just what was happening between them? What if he didn't actually kill him? Was there some secret agreement between the locals where they agreed that the old wolf guy had to live? Was someone hiding him somewhere? No, that couldn't be it. He definitely died the last time. Just didn't get it. Soon enough, we started making dinner. Had to check for poison again, clean up, and then we all went back to our rooms. Neither one of us might be gone tomorrow. We're prepared for that, at least. After a short silence, everyone gave each other some brief goodbyes and began going their own way. Oh, one last thing. Hashimoto-san stopped them. I'd advise against trying to stay outside and have secret meetings. Unlike during the day, we're all spread out. It's hard to tell if someone's nearby. Now it is? Big guy's right, just head back. Crap. I'd hoped to get a chance to eavesdrop. That meant that the secret chat he'd had at noon only happened because he figured that the wolves couldn't do much during the day. However, it didn't mean that Hashimoto-san had anything concrete. In fact, he would probably deal with potential eavesdroppers but not saying anything important if he met with someone privately. I was more curious about Takumi-san. The exchange between him and Yasunaga-kun might have been extremely important. True. I'm going to be right back real quick. I'm sorry. That makes a little meh. So I'll be right back. Sorry. Alright, we are back. I apologize. You ever just... God. I hit start stream and like immediately I just get sick. Fucking hilarious. Sorry. What? Lit at night. We passed out, then put on the wolf outfits, passed through the beast-filled mist, and arrived at the dining hall again. My injury had healed shockingly well. Healing herb, however, sure was something. I had to remove the taping to get in the wolf costume, though. And aside, that's not what we agreed. There was a strange tension between the three monsters here. It was really not the right time to kill Yasunaga-kun or Shitsuga-kun. But if we don't, I know, I don't mean to ignore your wish. It's just that... Who do we kill, then? There's two candidates, Takumi Muro-san and Yudai Hashimoto-san. Because they're good at controlling the conversation? Yes, especially Hashimoto-san. He's doing an amazing job convincing everyone to handle this rationally. Also, he's a lot smarter and sharper than he looks. Let your guard down and he'll instantly expose us all. I told him about how dangerous he was, setting the secret chat thing in the morning and the trick question during the feast. I'm sure you're not overthinking it. Why Takumi? He might be the snake. He is the snake. We know that from the ending. Huh? I was already suspicious yesterday, but now I'm almost certain. Yesterday, when asked whether anyone would have volunteered to be lynched, he said he couldn't die yet. I thought a lot about it. That was weird. Curtain just moved on its own. There's no wind in here. There's not even a there's a fan behind me, but it's not even on. I definitely just saw that out of the corner of my eye. Weird. Thought a lot about it, and the yet part really bothered me. Couldn't die on its own, it would seem natural. Also, he met with Yasunaga-kun secretly today. At first I thought he wanted to cheer him up, since Chimi was dead and all. But looking at how they behaved, it seems likely that they met up to talk about the feast. That seems possible. It was a bit strange how we just called Yasunaga to talk, but what about it? He's a pretty open guy, isn't he? Not the type of guy to hold secret meetings, right? He probably knows full well that you can't keep any secrets here in Yashimizu. And he still took Yasunaga-kun to meet in secret. That requires a lot of trust, if you ask me. That's why I think that he's the snake and that he investigated Yasunaga-kun yesterday. Excuse me. Another thing, he didn't raise his hand when we volunteered to be investigated by the snake. Oh, that was okay, right? I didn't raise it first. It's fine, he raised later and that's natural. However, considering his position, he should have raised his hand and agreed to be investigated before anyone else. He didn't do it because he's a snake and already figured that raising his hand would have been pointless. I just think he wasn't paying enough attention to act like a normal human, rather than a snake. That was also why he was slow to react to the idea that we should investigate him, yet he accepted it without any argument. I guess so. It does look like his words were a bit strange back then. I understand you're worried, but why today? There could be someone to investigate himself, but there's no guarantee it would be one of us, right? That was a naive thing to say. I don't really trust myself. If he's a snake, and if he was suspicious of me to begin with, my words would have made him even more suspicious. But if your theory is true, it's possible that Takumi-san told Yasunaga that he's the snake, right? That's possible. Then we should get rid of him, shouldn't we? We should, within the next few nights. Very well, as long as we go for Yasunaga tomorrow, I'll let you pick today's victim. I really don't care which. Thank you. However, if we killed one, we couldn't go for the other one for a while. Today's twist was bound to greatly affect what happened next. Now, which one? Well, killing Takumi is the right idea. So we'll kill Hashimoto as being protected. And it's going to get the bad ending. My suspicions of Takumi-san being the snake were nothing more than that. Unlike detective novels, people didn't always act according to logic. It was risky to take a web of strange words and look at them in black and white. But I was almost certain Hashimoto-san was dangerous. He had to be eliminated. I'll kill Hashimoto-san. I understand, however... Yes, we'll kill Yasunaga-kun tomorrow, but it'll be a different story if we discover the snake. That's not good. If I don't kill Yasunaga for sure tomorrow, I'll take the Fusiyomi purge lightly. It's not easy to win each round. You may be satisfied focusing on your sons, but Haruchan and I can't do that. Fulfilling Great Lord Shinai's order, resolving this incident internally, and making sure at least Haruchan escapes. That is my responsibility. We can't rely on a simple suicide attack. Alright, then if we don't kill one of them tomorrow night, I will kill my sons during the day. Kari-san, you can't do that. I won't cause either of you trouble, and if I kill them both and am hanged that day, I will have fulfilled my duty, correct? First, there was no guarantee she could successfully kill both, and if she did, that didn't mean the humans would simply kill Kaori-san. That had happened in a previous loop, but that was a hopeless feast led by Kiyonosuke-shi and the wolf Yasunaga-kun. In a feast as calm and collected as this one, they'd probably tie Kaori-san up and let the corruption have her while they looked for the other wolves. No, knowing Hashimoto-san, he could torture Kaori-san and try to get the identities of the other wolves out of her. Is that really what he would do? He would really resort to torture? I don't know. But I wouldn't explain that. I can't make promises anymore, but I will do everything in my power to try and kill Yasunaga-kun tomorrow night. Can you take that as a heartfelt sincerity? Kari-san, you can't be selfish either. Everyone will die if things go well, so you need to think about ensuring things go that way. It's so hard. I just want this life of mine to be over. Kari-san, I'm sorry. I went too far. Haru-chan, look after Kari-san. What are you doing? I'll take care of it myself. Alright. Interesting. This was the most humane and ethical choice I could manage. I wouldn't let the unfortunate mother and girl dirty their hands and push them even further into a corner. Justification was a wonderful thing. It could apparently drive people to easily commit acts that would be insane otherwise. The door to the hut was surprisingly unlocked, so I went in and committed murder with shocking ease. Okay. Jesus. Oh, surprisingly it was unlocked, so I went in and I did it. Like fucking... Damn. I used a nearby farming tool as my weapon. I severed the big man's head from his torso and chopped him into bits to make work easier for the cleanup crew the next morning. Knowing Hashimoto-san, he may have left a dying message, so I thoroughly destroyed his body just to be safe. It felt like I'd slain an evil troll. I'd done the deed in under an hour, and probably easier than it would have been if all three of us had done this together. I suspected I found a camera, so I smashed it to pieces and buried it in the massive corpse. I made sure to destroy it at an angle that would destroy the memory card too, in a way that made it look natural. After all, I didn't want people pointing fingers at city dwellers tomorrow for having clearly gone out of their way to destroy it. Good, I was calm. I told the others it was all over, and then we parted for the day. He has a secret one. The bedtimes are happening, true. Wait, Haru-chan called to me near the end of our trip back to our homes. Sorry for leaving it all to you today. Huh? I'm the one who should apologize for leaving Kari-san entirely to you. Killing is harder, isn't it? It was easier than you'd think. It might be best if I do all the brutalization starting tomorrow. Get the feeling Kari-san will go completely insane if she kills her sons with her own hands. You do know that means she might try to kill you then? It's definitely possible. What a handful. No, I'd say you're pretty formidable yourself. Sorry. No, don't be. You were still a big help in keeping Kari-san in order. It's the least I can do. I'll come aid with the killing tomorrow if I can. Like I said, I just don't want to leave it all to someone playing the good guy like you. Wow, you actually said it. Okay, I'll be counting on you tomorrow. Oh, but don't go overboard during the day, alright? Yep, I'll just be the same old dumb cowardly teen rebel as always. Wait, you mean that's all an act normally? No, but any idiot's capable of at least that much introspection. Damn. Good night. Good night. When I called her formidable, I was referring to back then. Yes, back in that time when she instantly killed me for trying to abandon my role as a wolf. Naturally, I'd assume she'd just give me a confused look. I'd say it was nothing, and that'd be the end of that. I wonder what exactly she was apologizing for. It bugged me, but I returned to the prefab, took off the outfit, and got changed. I learned yesterday that it was best to wear the costume with little clothing, so it was a simple task. The bloodstained wolf outfit would be gone come morning. I lay down, and slumber soon took me away. The next morning, as I expected, the outfit had vanished. As I expected, there was a big fuss over Hashimoto-san's body. But what I didn't expect was that Takumi-san would beat the crap out of me first thing in the morning. He was a snake. This bastard's a wolf. Takumi Mura was the snake. Since he knew I was part of the gang that killed Hashimoto-san, he didn't hesitate to use full force on me. The feast was over in a flash. Everyone voted to lynch me. I wasn't even allowed to vote on account of my face and throat being all smashed, so I did mean everyone. Given the situation, Haru-chan and Kari-san didn't waste any votes in trying to save me, naturally. Damn. What was all that thinking for yesterday? Takumi-san really was the snake. He really did suspect me, and everyone really did trust him once he got the chance to show off his strength. I was embarrassed that I tried to act like a good guy, but next time I would get Takumi-san for sure. Oh, the mist was... Game over. That was easy. Watch the corner? Absolutely. We gotta see our friend the sheep. It's been too long. Boy, you done it now, eh, Chief? Another werewolf mistake did you in this time, huh? Well, don't be discouraged. Just look at this hint and cheer up. Bad ending 24, lynched by Takumi-san's superb influence. Why you died should have been obvious. You let Takumi Muro live. Yudai Hashimoto was a threat for sure, but you need to stick to priorities. The branching point is at that one. Well, that's all for today. Die another hearty death. Ha ha ha. This was just a dream. Who would have thought I chose wrong? Again. Everyone's shocked. Kill Takumi. Personally, I found Hashimoto-san to be the biggest threat. I didn't see any openings or weaknesses on him. However, I knew full well just how influential Takumi-san was. Though he sometimes lacked confidence, once he found some, he could kill off the wolves through his initiative and popularity alone. Then there was the fact that he might be the snake. I really couldn't ignore him. Easy. We'll kill Takumi-san. Very well, but yes, we'll go for Yasunaga-kun tomorrow night. About that though, Haru-chan. What? Yasunaga-kun will probably be in a state of shock again tomorrow, so you do your best to console him. You need to prevent him from declaring that Takumi-san told him he was a snake and that he confirmed that Yasunaga-kun was a human. When Takumi-san dead, most would find his words trustworthy. Pretending to be the snake would become really difficult then, understood? I do, but how do I even do that? Honestly, I don't think I could pull something like that off. Well, I'll do it. I just have to make sure Yasunaga doesn't talk about that in our feast, in or outside the feast, right? Yes, basically. Can you do that? I'm his mother. No one would suspect us if we have a talk as family. There's also the fact that, well, Takumi-san isn't a stranger to me. They fucked. And if he tells me that Takumi-san is the snake, I would tell him that I suspect Kanzo-san. I'd say that he killed the snake because he was afraid of being investigated. It's possible that Kanzo-san realized what Takumi-san was, right? Yes, now that you mention it, he acted weird in front of everyone there. Exactly. I'll also tell him to keep quiet about it because it could be next. I'd have severely underestimated her. Fucking fair point. I'd assumed she was a timid person without much of her own opinion on anything, but oh, was I wrong. I didn't know whether she was holding back or just using her imagination and proactiveness in a negative way. But she was really dependable in a situation like this. Please avoid saying things only wolves can know or claim that Takumi-san is the snake before he does. It won't be good for us if Yasunaga-kun starts to suspect you. Oh, but suspicion is no problem. He will die tomorrow night after all. I had hold back from cursing at her. My mother was intending to kill her own child. It made me feel unpleasant. True. That was the right thing to feel, wasn't it? Then I won't have to do anything, right? Yeah, for now. Her sudden grin was so out of nowhere. I had no idea what to make of it, and neither did Kaori-san. God, everyone's holding secrets. Takumi-san's place was close to the plaza. There was nothing out of the ordinary around it. It meant this would be our first real murder. Our first kill as wolves. Was I really going to do this? Would that door really open? Would I really open it and carry out the deed? You did with Hashimoto, so I mean, come on now. More nervous than I appeared, I put my hand on the door. Click. I felt it unlock. Seriously? Let me check something. Hey! I ran around checking several houses. The detached dwelling where Yoshitsugu-kun lived, Neiko's place, Kanzo-san's place, Rikaku-san's place, all of them were locked. Apparently you can only unlock the first door you touch. It's best not to touch the knobs without thinking. I see. So we got no choice but to kill Takumi. Exactly, I'm opening it. This would be my first time here since I investigated his corpse during the first loop. It was a simple room. There was a futon in the middle, and his large body was right there. He was sleeping, defenseless. He wouldn't wake up, right? Hey, how will we kill him? I actually was curious if we were going to be provided some means of killing. The murders I know of so far had been outside the norm, but they weren't something beyond human ability. But I also thought they'd been a bit excessive, assuming their sole purpose was murder. I still don't know if there was something that compelled them to do that. But apparently you had to come up with your own method of murder. Let's do something here. Thankfully, we had lots of options. There were various old farming tools nearby. The edged ones, sickle, hoe, etc. looked extremely fitting for the purpose. There was even an axe. It would make it really easy. An axe could destroy a human body in no time. Crazy! I'll ask, just in case. Either of you want to do it? Alright, I'll do it. I raised the axe overhead and hesitated. This memory, the fact that I committed murder, would probably stay with me even if I looped. I'd keep this moment, this feeling, until the day I died. That was partly a problem. Fair, dude, you loop like so many times. My aim was true, and the axe sunk into Takumi-san's neck. Blood burst out of the wound, then started bubbling out ceaselessly. That was definitely lethal. No shit, Sherlock. However, the blade wasn't too wide or large. This wasn't a broad axe or anything. Thus, I swung it down again. And again. And again. His head left his body before the 10th swing. Decapitation. Fatality. I took his head in hand. His eyes were open wide. His expression was full of anguish. At this point, I wasn't sure if he'd been completely unconscious. I nonchalantly showed it to the two behind me. Applause. They actually applauded me. Well done. Good job. This place fucked up. Pure joy and words of praise. My earlier sense of disgust returned. Why? Why did these people suddenly cease having a conscience the moment they became wolves? This was wrong. They were supposed to show disgust. They needed to. If they didn't, to whose standards was I supposed to adjust my conscience? A sense of right and wrong and good and evil. I tossed the head on the floor, and then held it in place with my foot. Cut it with the axe over and over. Struck it over and over. It was almost completely unrecognizable now. I kicked away the damaged skull, still covered in flesh and hair in places. It was heavy, so my leg hurt, and it left a pool of blood where it rolled. But even looking at it, I took a random farming tool. I thrust it into his torso. Were we just overdoing it? And then I took another tool and sank it into his shoulder. I opened his stomach. I cut up his limbs. I think we're bloodthirsty. I think we have a problem. That's enough. Stop. By the time someone stopped me, the corpse was in such a state you'd think that the corruption was responsible for it. You didn't have to go this far, did you? Not even those words were out of disgust or guilt. They simply thought it was a waste of time. Let's go. Still pissed, I went to the exit, not even looking back at them. You need a cleanse. I felt some water hit my back, but I was too pissed to even react before leaving. Yeah, they didn't care. I took off the bloody wolf outfit and just threw it on the floor. I learned yesterday that it was best to wear the costume without any upper clothing, so I was able to relax after just wiping off the sweat and changing my underwear. The room began to reek of blood, but Great Lord Shinai would probably clean all of this up anyway. Shit, I was pissed. Even though I knew they'd lose their sense of guilt, I was still pissed. Shit, I just wanted to sleep. But I couldn't really do that with someone knocking on my door. Who could it be? Kura-san? Haru-chan? Shinai-san himself? It was still late at night, so it couldn't be anyone else from the village. Police then? That'd be a laugh. I ignored it, though. I was too pissed. More knocking. More ignoring. My, oh my. You certainly are easily offended, city dweller. Now that I couldn't ignore. It's Haru. It's evil Haru. I jumped up and led to the door so quickly I almost tripped. This was the mystery surrounding Haru-chan. The brutalization had distracted me from my primary goal here. I hadn't expected her to come to me. Upon opening the door, I saw something I really didn't expect. This was... Oh! What? The wolves cometh to the smell of yummy. Cleanse, shelter, and dream. Daughter of Fusayoshi. What? Haru was that? That's insane. Whoa. I did not see that coming. That was Haru-chan? Now that I got a better look, the physique, hairdo, and even the voice were similar. But why would she wear that? No, forget that. How did she make it all the way here without her wolf outfit? No need to be surprised. These are my kin. Consider them an extension of me. Behind her, I felt the beasts, closer than at any point today or yesterday. No, I could actually see them. Countless eyes glowed in the darkness nearby. She gently extended her hand. A few of them looked at her, and a few even came close. The weak light from outside the prefab lit them up. Dogs. They really were dogs. Some were white, some brown, some had long ears, some didn't have a tail. It was a pack of countless feral-looking mid-sized dogs. All of them had blood and filth on them, as well as severe wounds here and there. Their clenched teeth, furrowed noses, and widened eyes spoke volumes of the rage and perhaps even hatred within them. The girl clad in aged clothes didn't seem to care, standing still even as they surrounded her. Not only that, but she reached out to pet one of them. Jesus. Are you one of the three gods? Oh yes, apologies if that did not seem obvious before. As you can see, I'm a lonely, powerless god who cannot do much beyond playing with beasts. Please come in. My, oh my, do you not think it dangerous to invite a god to your home? What if I were to spirit you away? Sorry, but I don't understand your rules. Reasonable. You city dwellers worship a god called Science, do you not? Science isn't a god. Oh, it is. You did not know? Oh, but wait. You do not believe in anything, do you? I truly, sincerely apologize. Okay, this really was... Should I step outside? No need for that. You cannot leave that place without that filthy costume on to all these children. The edge of a territory is a boundary, and talks between men and gods can be had through them. I see. Okay, then. What are you? I've already answered that, have I not? A god, a powerless god. That's not enough. The legends don't say anything about... Wait. The badger. Ooh! Nice. Sorry. Still gonna be trying to catch this one. Literally, every single fucking fly that I'm trying to kill is, like, getting into that fucking mixture. Except this one fucker who's like, I'm gonna stay around you, bitch! Do I need to put more apple cider vinegar? I need to just remake it. For the first time, she simply nodded instead of saying it. It made me uneasy. Do you hate that name? Not at all. It is not wrong in the least. It is a fitting name for someone wearing the marks of Great Lord Shinai and acting as leader of these mutts. Used to be a different god, right? This may not sit well with some of you, but legends and myths can change not just through borrowed aspects from other legends and myths, but also through political events. There was a time where myths and government were closely tied, so myths had to change whatever the politics did. If settlements merged, the gods would marry, while gods of places annexed through war would become the conqueror's god's servants or demons. Or maybe they'd merge separate gods into one. The people shaped them according to the power balances of their day. That's why powerful gods and devils have many other names, forms, and incarnations. These are remnants of long-forgotten faiths. The legends and myths that have lived to this day survive through countless such changes. Of course, they would have contradictions. Forgotten God. A mountain god besides Great Lord Shinai. With the creation of Shinai faith, she was woven into it as his servant and left mostly forgotten. This was the entity possessing her. Well, that is what I am, but I did not come here to speak of myself. First, I had a whole ton of questions, but since I didn't want to make her upset, I let her take the lead. What do you want to know? Why the rampage? You don't know? I understand that you are upset with this girl, but I cannot read any other color you display. If you did not want to kill, you could have stopped after the first attack, and if they did not deem it sufficient, you could have handled them the tool. Yet you joyously cut the large man up into pieces. I need those two to stay normal. I can't be normal unless I'm surrounded by normal people. As a person, I lack any kind of real foundation, so I lose myself without some source of normalcy to ground myself with. I don't actually mind losing myself and having to create a new me, but having one forced on me pisses me off. No real foundation, you say? How curious. Is that not itself your foundation? That is a man who is frustrated when outdone by others? Perhaps you're right. Then why are you afraid of me? Those seized by anger hold neither fear nor reverence, do they not? I'm scared of things I don't understand. That does not seem the truth to me. I see how it is. You cannot differentiate between fear and excitement, can you? And you do not like it when others control that, am I correct? We are even now. She took my displeased expression in silence as a yes and laughed. You can read minds? It is little more than a parlor trick to me. You also read my memories, so you know about my looping. My, oh my, you realized it already. Expected to keep it a secret a bit longer? In other words, neither you nor Haruchan experience what I do. Well, that is a good way to look at it. Unfortunately, even I am but a jester dancing atop another god's palm. Can you tell me about this god, the one behind it all? I cannot. Why? Because I am too weak. If you tell me, I'll turn it all around. I'll even help you regain your former glory. Know your limits, city dweller. I gasped at her sudden intensity. Allow me to correct you. A powerless god is one that is of no use to mankind, not one incapable of calamities beyond their knowing. I'm powerless now and I behave like this adorable maiden, but I used to be more feared than any. You believe you can bring that glory back? Do you believe you would honor me by burning several nearby villages and hanging all the people? Speaking on this dreary night is only meant to ease my ennui. There is nothing to be gained from it. This was just a diversion for her. I couldn't consider it significant. Was that what she was telling me? This has grown dull. Keep my words in mind. May we meet again on the following evening. He turned around and I felt the beast rush away. Please wait. Why did you come to me anyway? Oh, that is something I will gladly reveal. Essentially, this girl was concerned about you. Haruchan, she was? Fucking weird. Ushihashi-san was so mad. What's gotten into him? As a servant of Great Lord Shinai and one who detests the mark of Yomi, she was considerate of you, her partner. Even if you do not understand this, do show care for her. She is powerless as well, so seeing her can be vexing at times. Does Haruchan know about you? Maybe. So I can't expect you to pass on a message to her. I am too powerless even for that. I can try to show up in her dreams, though. Then I would tell her myself. Farewell. Oh, one more thing. I just watched season 13, or some of the season 13 of Taskmaster, and then there's Bridget Christie for like the shoes task. Oh, one more thing. Oh, and one more thing. Also, no way! Such a good task. What? You're a cute god. I see. You truly are as warped as you claim to be. We flirting with all the girls. With those words as her last, she disappeared into the night mist. We fucking a god. God, children. The next morning came. As I expected, the wolf outfit and all the blood had vanished. That didn't mean that it was all a dream, though. Takumi-san's mutilated corpse was soon discovered, shocking the whole settlement. That was when I noticed that the murder scene was full of wet footprints. They were the same as the ones left by the previous wolves, and I now understood why they were there. They also wore those wet costumes. They didn't even continue outside the house, though. Apparently Great Lord Shinai took care of the costumes as well as evidence. What a methodical god. I was probably the only one who could be so clear-headed. Tae-san took this especially hard. She refused food and instead just prayed at one edge of the dining hall. Kanzo-san was looking really weary too. First Chemi, now Takumi-san. He was losing people who he depended on, one after the other. His reaction was only natural. As you expect, Yasunaga-kun had gone pale once more. The person who consoled him the previous day was now gone forever after all. Then there was Kaori-san. She looked shaken and had already broken 2 plates. Everyone assumed her state was caused by Takumi-san's death. They were close, after all, but everyone was sympathetic. I knew that she was actually just tense because she was planning to trap her sons and then kill them, but I didn't say a word, of course. Breakfast was over and we finished washing the dishes. Kanzo-san prepared to go clean up at Takumi-san and... Yasu, help out, said that, which made a chill go down my spine. I had no idea what kind of info the two would exchange if they had a secret chat. Okay. Wait, I'll go. Though that was why Yoshitsugu-kun's words were a big help. I'll be more useful than this empty husk. Let's go. Do what you have to, Yoshitsugu. Ag, you hope that idiot get the point. Come with me, Yasunaga. It was going great. The plan's working? Yoshitsugu-kun returned from cleaning up and Kanzo-san went patrolling, but Yasunaga-kun and Kaori-san still hadn't returned. A bit worried, I finished cleaning up and relaxed when, Haraki-sama, may I have a moment? Someone called out to me. It is about Mako. Oh, that was an issue I'd nearly forgotten. A short distance from everyone else here, around 10 steps away from Tae-san and her prayers, we started whispering to each other. Is she still being rebellious? Yes, until recently she needed my help dressing up, and now she does not. It might be a good thing, but she ate alone too, didn't she? It was cute though. Yes, and she always says that Oni-chan and Fusuyuki-san should hang. Damn. But Mako, we were besties! A small girl basically saying that she wants to murder. What family of delinquents did she grow up with? Delinquents? Yeah, we have poorly raised children outside this village too. Oh my. Still, what's with her? I do not know. Actually, I worry that she might be the badger that Hashimoto-sama mentioned. There. She noticed it too, and she probably wasn't alone. Maybe. A human that sides with the wolves. Is that why she wants to hang the humans? In Kama Fujiyoshi, people believe the wolves are good, and that the other guardians have sided with Yomi. Did someone tell her? Is that why she changed sides? Maybe. Or maybe you and I did something to get on her bad side? Nah, she wants everyone to die. It's fine. Nothing comes to mind. But I think we could just ignore it for now. I doubt that anything she says will affect the other participants. Can we really be so optimistic? She has a right to vote, just like everyone else in the feast. That's not really good, but if you follow the rules, the only way to get rid of her is by hanging. If that saves us one of the feasts, perhaps I should... That would be good for us. Please don't. It would be a waste of a human vote. Just cruel in general. True. Hanging a kid? Whoa. Dude, holy shit. I just saw... The concoction is working. Like, I can see that it is working. But, like, I just looked up and I saw a fly and I'm like, I'm going to catch it. And it split off into 2 and I'm like... It evolved. Oh no. Oh, it's worse. It's worse than I thought. Oh no. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember to throw your food away. Do not make the mistake that I did. Okay, well, luckily it's not that big of a deal right now, but I'm gonna have to fix this issue tonight. I'm such a dumbass. Listen, I'm saying this is all just to, you know, let everyone know. Don't be a dumbass like me. I guess I have a Reese's cup. Okay. Liberals are mostly only the issue if you don't know who they are. They're identified, they're just actually largely negated. True, but they're also an extra vote for the Wolves, and they're also somebody you know you can't trust. So it can kind of bring down morale. Sorry, I just... I'm such an idiot. That concoction's gonna have to go over here. Well, I got 2 more hours. We got 2 more hours to stream, and then I'm gonna remake the concoction and try to ignore the chaos that's happening above my head right now. I understand. Thank you for showing mercy to her, Haraki-sama. Rikako-san, why do you care about her so much? She's just a lost child you picked up, isn't she? Taking in children without a place to go and raising them was one of the roles of the Uematsu. Really? Yes, the Uematsu do not care much for lineage, actively accepted orphans, and those without a place to go as their own. I could only assume they needed more bedroom woman servants to fulfill their evening duties. Rikako-san, you really value tradition, don't you? Yes, that's what kind of world I grew up in. This whole area was a separate realm built around the worship of Great Lord Shinai. From my perspective, she was really very unfortunate to have been born here. Perhaps from her point of view, being a city boy without the pillars of faith and tradition to support me was far more unfortunate. I couldn't deny that a world where the way to live and die hadn't changed for centuries could be easier to live in. A well-balanced aquarium didn't need much to stay stable. It just had to continue following already established processes. However, in the real world, closed systems are extremely hard to maintain. Other animals, diseases, lineage, ideals, the system was threatened by countless things. In liberated societies, however, the people had to develop a strong will, with a blend of common sense and individuality, and constantly conflict with others. Not like they couldn't crumble as a result of outside influences either, but there was no denying that it was tougher than a secluded, happy society. Open societies exchanged certain happiness for the practical, universal simplicity we call money. That reasoning was probably a bit shaky. Anyway, the settlement as well as Fujiyoshi would eventually fall victim to our aging society. Without a single person here, Great Lord Shinai would just like the Badger, or the nameless mountain god, be forgotten and vanish. The Uematsu, herself included, would simply vanish faster than the rest. Thus, what I felt for her right now was merely sympathy for something facing its inevitable end. A worthless sentiment you could have about anything. Also, she died. And we hugged her. And then she hung. None of that had happened. I'd throw away even Shiemi. Haraki-sama, is something troubling you? Why would you think that? You're wearing a frightening expression. Sorry. I had to keep a tight grip on my conscience. Without deciding what to do about Mako, I returned to the dining hall where I found Yasunaga-kun and Kaori-san. Yasunaga-kun seemed a bit better than before, but only slightly. Kaori-san looked the same though, so I couldn't tell if she succeeded in getting Yasunaga-kun to not talk about Takumi-san. Let's prepare lunch, shall we? The feast will start soon. Can you wash the pot for me? Of course. I opened the metal pot I'd grown used to using, and found a piece of paper inside. Takumi didn't tell Yasunaga anything about being a snake. He simply consoled Yasunaga about Shimi-chan's death and talked about how they could proceed with the feast. Cool. Maintaining my poker face, I brought the pot to the sink and filled it with water, getting the paper all wet. The fountain pen letters quickly became unreadable. I then used a scrubbing brush to quickly tear it apart, rolled it into a ball, and threw it in the trash. Was Kaori-san aware just how risky that was? Anyway, that info just now was extremely important. Takumi-san hadn't told him about being a snake? What was I to make of that? The first time Takumi-san revealed he was the snake on the very first day, why would he be so careful now? What if he wasn't the snake? He was. What if Yasunaga-kun lied to his mother as a precaution? Crap, Kaori-san's note didn't tell me anything about how she'd asked about it or the nuances of the replies. This could definitely be a good time to come out as a snake. What was I to do now? I thought about that for every second of lunch. I did think I kept a normal expression on my face at least. It took far too long to decide that, regardless of circumstances. I needed to claim a role. I don't think we need to do that yet. Yeah, I don't think we need to do that yet. I think we wait one more night, honestly. Let's begin today's feast. We need to hang the wolves that killed Takumi. Prayer time was over for her. Sadness and confusion had become hatred of the wolves. Everyone displayed approval of her words, including us wolves. We might have been the ones terrorizing them, but it wasn't hard for us to act like the powerless resistance. First of all, Yasunaga-kun said that Takumi-san's death rendered the snake's power meaningless. His tone seemed authentic, so it was hard to believe he was just hiding that we'd lost the snake. It means that the only confirmed humans so far are Mochi and Hashimoto-san. Michini, the old wolf man, Takumi gone, there's only 13 of us now, with 11 being unconfirmed. We must choose only one to hang, huh? It is quite difficult. Look who's the snake's looking at tonight. I'll just leave 10. Reader, consider the order. Yoshinaga-kun was giving me a sideways glance. It should be you, Nichan. You talk a lot, so people start to think you're suspicious? Yeah, imagine the old fart will talk shit about you. Am I suspicious? You and the journal woman were against hanging the first day. Takumini was against it too. Even you understood why, right? I voted for the hanging. Kanzo-san began presenting his unreasonable argument. He was basically saying that just about everyone here deserved the noose. Hey, Mako's the same way. Please calm down. We still don't have enough information to decide. It's a mistake to use that vote as a basis for a hanging. I was the one who suggested it, and I'm a monkey, so please control yourselves. Now, if we were to be optimistic, what's the likelihood of the old wolf person from yesterday being a wolf? 0. A certain answer from a place no one expected. You're the crow, buddy! Oh, you are totes dying. Old fart was a human. He's saying that you don't move, any of you. Sharp words and a sharp sound. He stabbed a kitchen knife from the dining hall into the tatami before him. Archon gasped while Kanzo-san made a stern face and got up. I said don't fucking move. That means you too, old fart. Kanzo-san could have probably beaten him even with 1 or 2 stab wounds in him. He didn't do it though, probably because the hostility in Yoshitsugu-kun's voice was highly restrained. Despite his intense words, he was very calm and displayed great determination. It was a silent threat, and Kanzo-san believed it was worth listening to him. What is it? Say it. He even encouraged him to talk. I'm the crow. The old wolf guy we hanged yesterday was a human. If anyone else says the crow, they're faking it, and I'll kill him right now. Stop. We don't need such demonstrations. I won't stop. The feast's all about whether you believe me or not, right? In that case, the one who will win are the ones who show just how damn serious they are. Right, you wolf assholes? If you want to die, try saying you're a crow, I dare ya. I saw what he was doing here. The feast's all about whether you believe or not, right? We both reached the same conclusion because they weren't wrong. Due to the unreliable nature of playing the odds, the feast became, just as I'd thought, a game of politics rather than logic. In political scenarios, the ones who were in charge were the loudest and most emotional, not the most rational. After all, logic required energy to understand. Basically, it was a pain in the ass. The people who actually enjoyed building complex, logical theories were by far in the minority. Hi, Hashimoto. The majority disliked wasting energy on understanding them, even if they did have that capacity. There was something they all had in common. They all wanted to believe that the world was actually easy to understand, the truth was simple, and that someone was just making it more complex than it was. The truth was that any world worked based on complicated mechanisms, and it only seemed simple because you wanted to see it that way. However, it was impossible to impress the complexity of the world upon everyone. Thus, people always left certain matters, such as science and politics, to those considered to be pros. It was a sensible delegation of authority. But to earn trust, you need to present yourself in a way that was simple rather than complex. You needed a story that the ones who cast logic aside could easily swallow. Like Takumi-san back then, and Yoshitsugu-kun now, they realized that, so they decided to gamble on it. Discard logic, pick your methods based on feeling and preference, gamble, and win support. They provided the anti-logic crowd with a convenient lifeboat. It was definitely a good approach, but Yoshitsugu-kun had overlooked 2 things. It doesn't look like there's anyone. Then I guess I'm the real crow, huh? First was his own nature. He was a persuasive person even when there was no basis for it. I actually admired that. Yoshitsugu-kun was your generic edgy delinquent to the core. However, he was kind at heart, as well as passionate and naive. That much was plain for me to see. It was why everyone could believe him if he took things seriously enough. As long as he stayed honest, no one would doubt him. It was a rare and valuable talent. In a good-natured society, that is. I see. Let's all assume he's the crow, while the old wolf man was a human. That means we have 10 other people, 3 of which are wolves. That was all that he'd earned by revealing his guardian to us wolves. Was it really worth the risk? The other thing he misunderstood was that this was something that couldn't be emulated. No one who tried something similar would get the same results. This was because winning via brute force was usually a bad move in this game. He was an exception. It did nothing, and he could only use it once. We should have saved that for the endgame, Yoshitsugu-kun. Oh, how I wanted to say that. I wanted to put on a shit-eating grin and tell him that to him. I really wanted him to understand how harsh the world really was. Thus, I had to survive. Damn it, I had to win this even more now. So I think what we have to do now is we have to vote out somebody while not revealing we're the snake. So if we're given the option, we're going to choose revealing being the snake because we'll lose. Maybe get a key? But I think the proper way of doing this is getting somebody else killed that is a human without revealing. I respect your courage in revealing your guardian. I also have something to say. What is it? If this was Yoshinaga-kun's trap, I'd fall right into it. It'd be embarrassing, but I'd just loop back and try again. Damn it! I'm the snake, that's why I couldn't look into myself. You? It can't be as intense as he was, but if there's any wolf who wants to be a fake snake, I'll tear them down with facts and logic. You have any volunteers? No, of course not. Takumi Muro really was the snake. That lowers the numbers are knowns to 9. Yasunaga-kun didn't know that either. Oh, how I wanted to thank Takumi-san because of how thoroughly he kept his secret. The wolves would be saved. Is that why you suggested we investigate Takumi? Yes, it was wasted though. I see, so you basically declared who you would investigate, and if the targets are killed, we'll never increase the amount of confirmed humans. Bingo. That was why I suggested we check Takumi-san. I also wanted to see his reaction to help me figure out if he was the snake. Then who did you look into the first night? I already had an answer to that. Yasunaga Aribe-kun, who was a human. That leaves 8. And I suppose another one. That cute little girl Miko-chan, right? Isn't she a badger? I knew he would point that out. Is that the one you talked about? The one that would lie? Yes, I think the badger exists. Ah, no, I'm the goat. She's the greatest of all time! Let's fucking go! I am sorry that she is being like this, but I also think that as well. If she is not talking nonsense, she insists we hang someone, which is definitely something she did not previously do. Well, I don't know what her role is, but if she has contact with the wolves, I'm sure they told her to keep quiet. Therefore, I believe we should assume that she is a human, definitely not a wolf at least. If you remove her, that just leaves 7. Hanzo-san? Quit joking. Silence. The badger? That don't exist. Hanchan, did you forget what Gen-san talked about? When Gen-san talked about it? Gen gone senile then, not worth believing. But the idea that she'd just be quiet if she was a wolf is believable, right? Not at all. The wolves could just be using her as a sacrifice to hide themselves. Hey, Yasu's really human, huh, Snake? Yes, no doubt about it. He's too soft. No, You said we shouldn't hang even when she died? Oh, so you don't trust me. The mood changed. Yasunaga-kun was as stern as he'd been when he was a wolf. Want to shut him up? Not yet. Oh man, Yasun's mad. I'd really like to go now. Nii-chan, stop. You're scaring me. You too, Roji-chan. Fusashi-san, you consider investigating me even before, but that's meaningless now, right? Yeah, it's already done. Then investigate Haru-chan next. Me? You'll do that? Yes, once that's done, you'll be safe. I didn't mind that. Now that I'd taken the role of a snake, I could lie as much as I wanted. But why do you suggest it now? Quit messing around. Naturally, Kanzo-san snapped. Investigate me, I'm human. The young'uns said I'm more important here. I also believe that it's best to investigate the most influential participants. You've shown your true colors? What? You want to flaunt your importance in the feast instead of ensuring your own granddaughter's safety? I get it. She's dead, so you want to leave her now, huh? What did you say? Oh, that's right. Because Haraki said that Yasunaga is a 2-timer. Holy shit. I forgot that happened. I don't think of Haru-chan that way. Yasunaga-kun was able to finish the sentence because Kanzo-san's fist didn't reach him. Ugh. Yoshitsugu-kun had jumped in at just the right time to take it in his stomach. You're scum. Shut it. He then stuck his left fist into Yoshitsugu-kun's cheek. The teen fell to the ground. The kitchen knife fell from before he was still in the tatami a few feet in front of him. Kanzo-san had already noticed it, so he beat Yoshitsugu-kun to the punch and grabbed the handle. They prepared to... Oji-san, stop! Everyone was looking at Kanzo-san right now. Cold stares, fearful eyes, judgmental glares. Yasunaga-kun's trap wasn't that special. Like he said, it was worth investigating Kanzo-san and confirming his humanity at this point. However, since he was so rough about it, Kanzo-san had gone and treated Haru-chan as Yasunaga-kun's woman, rather than his dear granddaughter. That was when he had to retract his statement and stop himself. There were many ways he could have gone about this, like saying that letting Haru-chan be investigated could get her killed, like Takumi-san last night. Or he could have said he made a mistake, that Haru-chan was more important. Excuse me, and let her have the turn. He would have still had everyone's respect then. He could have still been the backbone of the village. But now he turned violent and pointed a blade at the defenseless brothers. Right now, he was just a threat to everyone. Damn, this is how Kanzo goes down? Oh my gosh. Upon coming back to his senses, he seemed to have realized that he crossed the line he could never come back from. The crude old man was at a loss for words. Excuses, manipulation, rationalization, all of these concepts were foreign to a character as stoic as he was. A man of few words had little he could say after such a catastrophic blunder. No way this is how he goes down! However, out of all the words he could have chosen... Okay, real quick. Sorry, real fast. Real fast. Like, I think it's that one. I just want to be sure. Yeah. I'm so excited to see what this does. This one. However, out of all the words he could have chosen, hang me. I certainly didn't expect those. Oji-chan? Lost my edge. Yes, he's right. I forgot what mattered and point a blade at a human. No one will listen to me now, and that's fine. I gotta be gone. But... No, I'll be all alone then. Haru, that ain't true. Yosemizu's your family. It's what they think too. Yasu? Yes? You can defeat the wolves, right? I must. You too, Yoshi? Damn fucking right. Ribe, you got some good sons. I only... let us calm down for a second. This is a bit too chaotic. Shut it, outsider. But this is our problem. Oh dear. Kanchan, isn't it too early? Elders should die first. Deba, you better prepare too. Oji-chan. Stay strong, Haru. Oh man, were these people brain dead? This wasn't the time or place for this. Personal vendettas, lover spats, brotherly union, maturity, generational gaps. This wasn't a situation where you could just waste time on something like that, was it? Kanzo-san was human, no matter how you put it. Sure, he'd sown some discord, but they had to make an effort to fix that. I didn't mind if they got rid of someone who'd make an unnecessary scene, but that decision should have been more calculated and less emotional. Those who weren't part of their circle just didn't know how to react. Hashimoto-san showed some serious courage trying to intervene. However, he underestimated how cold Yosemizu could be towards outsiders. I knew that well, thanks to Chiemi. Well, not like I objected to this outcome. If these people were going to accept his death and find unity in madness, I'd just play along. I wasn't looking down on them, I just thought they were brain dead, but I had to take that back. Madness was a fearsome foe to face. I'd let myself revel in victory once I actually won. And I would definitely emerge victorious. Thanks to my looping, I had all the attempts I needed and then some. Don't become... Why'd her face just come back to my head? She had nothing to do with this turn of events, right? Not even the last time. What was I not supposed to become? Good question. Takumi-san and Chiemi were gone now, thus the task of tying up, dragging, and hanging Kanzo-san to transfer into the Oribe brothers. The elder brother led while the younger one dragged. Everyone else followed after, singing a set-in version of Prayer to Shinai. Though perplexed, the journos joined in, too, and they looked a lot like I had back then. By this point, the feeling that the villagers were crazy had dulled, and I was starting to believe that I was the anomaly here. The term peer pressure came to mind. There certainly was a way to use peer pressure to erode people's aversion to murder and reduce them to marionettes. By imposing such meaningless, repetitive rituals on a group of people enough times, they would eventually be viewed as commonplace events. It had been done many times throughout history, in wars, POW camps, cultist sects, and the feast. No, Yosemizu as a whole was a prime example of that. The local culture was deeply ingrained in their minds. Anyone living here would eventually start to question their own way of life. Huh, so the story I created wasn't far off the mark. Anyone living near a hellish place long enough would themselves become inhabitants of hell. If you looked at it that way, I might have been a resident of hell myself. Now, what did the great lord of the local hell, Shinai-sama, want out of something so needlessly profound? I still didn't know. In fact, I wasn't sure if the god himself knew what he wanted out of this. Just a thought, an eternal dance of murder and concealment, shrouded in the densest mist. Oji-chan, I already said goodbye. I leave the rest to you. Rise not. Oji-chan! Rise not. Brothers extended their hands, and the rugged old man's body fell down. In a moment, the rope went taut. I heard a sound akin to a frog's croak from down below. The seeds of malice I'd planted had grown and bloomed. I wanted him to live a bit longer and play the role of an antagonistic, hateful old fart, but oh well. Deciding to kill him would probably haunt Yasunaga-kun until he died. As someone with a strong sense of justice, he would either eventually self-destruct or struggle to find some internal justification for it. No, we promised Kuri-san that we would kill him soon. Whatever the case, there was no problem for us. Now, I just had to be wary of some surprise attacks and the rest. Hope that the last of the Uematsu, Rikako-san, didn't have any other secrets. And think of how to deal with these two. True, we have so many people. Hashimoto-san wasn't shaken by the liching, and as we returned, our eyes met. I had no idea what he was thinking. His expression and eyes both were unreadable to me. He, on the other hand, clearly read something about me. That wasn't fair. First you're Tsuguku, now Hashimoto-san. Their goddamn superpowers are just unfair. They were the reason why I, a normal talentless individual who didn't stand out in any way, had to take such drastic measures. I couldn't even tell if he actually suspected me or was just slightly uneasy. I felt like I was doing a good job, but since I was now at the forefront, it was more likely that I would be targeted. What would he do next? I was actually kind of excited for tomorrow's feast. After the feast, everyone gathered in the dining hall. With barely any words, we ate a simple dinner and went our own ways. Takumi-san and Kanzo-san were gone now, so we didn't even have anyone to say that it was time to go back. However, it was hard to believe that would just collapse. Hashimoto-san would plan to decide what to do tomorrow, and the Oribe brothers would do something too. I could only imagine what they were thinking of in the window between sheltering and dreaming. We also have a spider to be aware of. Like, we know who the crow is. If Jimmy is the spider, that would make things easy. Let's begin our third secret meeting. We should tear their fragile plans to shreds. Now let's fulfill the promise. Her voice was calm but stern. Let's give one of your sons the rest. Certainly. Which one are we going for, Nichan? Yoshi-kun? I'm sure we're excited about this. It still pissed me off. Don't become a wolf, I think is what she's saying. As did Shimi's face, which often flashed before my eyes recently. Before we do that, can't you two suffer a bit more? I made a smile and asked that. Suffer? I mean, this is difficult for you, right? You're about to send a son back to Yomi. It's a tragedy, isn't it? Haru-chan, you just sat there and watched as your own grandfather was hanged today. That's madness, a terrible way for a human to act. We've done many terrible things since being born and granted this power. Sending people to where they truly belong carries with it a lot of sympathy, empathy, and guilt. But the slide was such a pain at this point, I didn't even have a reason to keep telling it anymore. If we act normal while doing this kind of thing, we won't be in the right anymore. You think we're not suffering? Oh, you are? Of course. It's a bother to cry at this point, so we simply do our best to be insane. I just don't want to cause you trouble. Unlike you, we can't keep up with you unless we go insane. But people normally don't know how to go insane. True. Also, Haru-chan, don't act like this is my fault. Kari-san will die after she kills her sons, but she won't, right? You need to survive and bear the sin. I can die too, can't I? Yes, she can, can't she? There's my leg and kicked over the bucket. Oh my. I've had enough of this nonsense. Then why not get this over with? Yeah, like we should. Okay. The wrong decision is killing Yasunaga. If we kill Yasunaga, he's going to be protected by the spider. If we kill Yoshitsugu, no one gives two shits. So I think the wrong choice is Yasunaga. We would kill Yasunaga Oribe. If we let Yoshitsugu-kun, the crow, live, they would find out that Kanzo-san was a human, but everyone already knew that. The crow would live another day. During the charade at noon, Yasunaga-kun inherited Kanzo-san's will. His death would be more distasteful and tragic than anyone else's. The blind people here wanted a leader, and this would shock them immensely. I had no idea how good of a leader he would be, but it would be bad for us if he was actually good. Can we kill Yasunaga-kun? Certainly. I guess this is goodbye to Nichan. There's something I want to ask you two. Yes? Kill him yourselves this time. Because you ever did it yesterday? I don't want you stabbing my back while I'm doing the job. I wouldn't do that. Liar. I understand. Very well. Be thorough about it. What do you mean? We need to make sure we don't leave any evidence and he doesn't leave any messages. He won't feel the pain once he's dead anyway. All right. Don't become stuffer. We filled the bucket with water again and we went into the mist. The water from the faucet repelled the corruption just fine. It was from a well, so maybe it didn't count as tap water. Haru-chan went in front and Kuri was right behind her. Haru-chan was waving around a flashlight. I see you like that a lot, Haru-chan. She likes technology. Who cared about that? We headed for the dorm. Not long after we arrived, this reminded me of the first night when we tried to kill him and Shimi got in our way. This time it was something else. What's the problem? Hurry up and open it. It's not opening. Yeah, you got protected by the spider. Let me try. What about the other rooms? I tried touching the cheap-looking metallic knob too. I didn't feel anything unlock and I couldn't open it either. We then went around all the houses that had living people in them, but none of the doors opened. After a moment of thought, I reached a conclusion. The spider got the better of us. So the spider protected Nichan's door and prevented it from unlocking when we tried to open it? No. No, we should have expected this. Anyone living in Yasumizu would know that he's in the most important position right now. Of course they would protect him. What do we do? We have no choice but to accept it. That's a night wasted for us. Kuri-san can't kill his son, and the spider will know that we targeted Yasunaga-kun. Is that a big deal? No, not really. In fact, that gives us some info. The spider was from Yasumizu. If Mamiya's son was the spider, she'd have protected either Hashimoto-san, me, or Yoshitsugu-kun. And the locals who rose we didn't know were Tei-san, Kinosuke-shi, and Rikako-san. Yasunaga-kun couldn't have been the spider since they couldn't protect themselves. Meiko couldn't be it either. If she was the spider, Rikako-san would control her like last time. She was clearly the badger. That meant that one of those three was the spider. It wasn't completely unlikely that it was Kinosuke-shi, but I couldn't imagine him making this choice. He'd probably protect Rikako-san every single day. In order of likelihood from highest to lowest, it would probably Rikako-san, then Tei-san, then Kinosuke-shi. Probably Tei-san. Worse than that. Tomorrow, will I get to kill them tomorrow? This woman had abandoned all hope to keep her mind intact, that now came back around to undermine her sanity if she didn't get to kill her sons. It looked like the situation where we couldn't let her have the kill she was promised would continue. Oh man, I wanted to reset. Right now, actually. Maybe I could just walk off the cliff and... She's geckos. Oh, sorry, that was imprudent. Musashi-san, you really are insane, aren't you? Me? Insane? Hey, that's not fair. You're the ones who went insane first. Weird. I told the others too. If they were in danger of getting hanged, pretend to be the crow, avoiding the spider at all costs. The spider wasn't an option, claiming the spider meant death on the next or following night. If that didn't happen, it would mean that the spider was a fake. With Yoshitsugu-kun's reveal, pretending to be a crow became a lot harder, but it was still safer than pretending to be a spider. Yasunaga-kun and Hashimoto-san would also find it suspicious that a spider reveal even happened in the first place, so that was another reason. Though I would follow Yasunaga-kun's idea and tell everyone that my snake power said that Haruchan was a human, so she wouldn't be suspected. I was in way more danger in that regard. Also, I would see how the votes worked out, and if possible, hang Rikako-san. However, our votes would go different ways. We couldn't force it. Tomorrow's vote would be on hanging one of the 6 unconfirmed humans. Tei-san, Kore-san, Kyonosuke-shi, Rikako-san, Meiko, and Mamiya-san. I would try to make sure it wasn't Kore-san. After I provided that course of action, we went our ways. We said goodbye to Kore-san and went uphill. Ooh, this is interesting. A lot of dots. Haruchan? What? I was the one who started the conversation. That was a loss for me. Am I insane? Maybe. Don't really know you. Though maybe I don't understand how you could brutally kill a man then talk about morals. She had a point, another loss for me. God. What is it, city dweller? Am I insane? When you first came here, were you the kind of person who would think I want to die to restart? Well, I certainly would not call you a good person. That wasn't fair. 3rd loss. It's all Yasumizu's fault. Well, sorry, I still live and die here, though. This is hard. What is? Nothing? Hey. What? Did you really not feel anything about Kanzo-san? Of course I did. I like how she can switch between God and Haru. That's hilarious. Also Haru and Haraki. Same for the Aribes and Mochi. I don't want to kill anyone. Then why are you acting all normal? Because it's the right way to act? Right. Right? I am. I'm not corrupted. I'm not saying I'm not. It's Fujiyoshi that's messed up. It's God that's messed up. Is God some state of being? Crazy. Right. State of being. Have you realized something, city dweller? No. If that were the case, I could understand it, but no, even some things wouldn't make sense. No, that wasn't right either. It wasn't that I couldn't understand. It was just so absurd. Way too hopeless. But I wanted to tear off all these masks and examine them to my heart's content. There's no more terrifying or thrilling moment than the one when you were about to expose the ugly face of the unknown. And apparently the role of a wolf wasn't fit for this. The wolves were way too right. Basically, I had to change my line of thinking. Haruchan, here's an idea. I turned back to the small dwarf. What? Alright, it was Haruchan. We should give our all to be villains. Villains? Yeah, the bad guys. She tilted her head in confusion. We're bad guys who kill people. We're bad guys who betray their own. We're bad guys who do what we want. It would all be because we're evil, not because we're right. Evil is free from all forms of justice. Villains? Evil? Are you sure it's good to be like that? No, it isn't good, of course. But you know something? If they set their minds to it, humans are animals that can do bad things. Killing is bad? Of course, it's evil. And killing friends, family, and good people? Even worse, it's pure evil. Why? Reasons why we shouldn't murder. It was perhaps the hardest topic in morality. However, when you thought about it, it wasn't too difficult to find a logical answer to that too. You simply ignored the concept of good and evil. If ignoring such ideas was an integral part of evil, that would teach her, and through it pose her a question about how flexible she really was. It inconveniences both mind and body. I don't understand. If you do something people don't want, they will start not wanting you either. That binds your mind and heart more tightly than you think. People who do things others really don't want might even find their bodies bound too. Bound in convenience, people can't live in peace or die in peace. Most humans are forced to live well and be good, and that's because they all want to live and die in peace. The people begin binding others, and the chains grow to encompass more and more people. So people grow up being told to live well to avoid that. But get this, if you give up on all that, if you inconvenience everyone as well as yourself and prepare to have a discomforting end, you could do bad things. Hey, does everyone outside of here learn that? Nope, I just thought of it myself. That's mean, but I think I'm surprisingly correct. If you agree, I'll join you. Let's be as villainous as we can be. I like the Western movies they show on TV. Really? What do you like? The one with the Force. You really did love that series, huh? Okay, but I heard Western and I thought cowboys. I did not think Star Wars. So, what character do you like? The golden one. C-3PO? Was that why she liked androids? Did I remind her of him? When you watch movies like that, you normally support the side of justice, right? Saying this is kind of embarrassing, but I sometimes think about how great it would be if some handsome knight came to save me. That's a perfectly fine way to enjoy something. Excuse me. Oh my god, they're growing. I never thought about becoming a bad guy. There's lots of movies with bad guy protagonists. Really? Yeah. Can a bad guy cry? Of course. Crying noises. I can't do that because people are asleep. Yeah. So fuck it. As she began to intensely cry, I spread my arms out. She plunged into my chest with surprisingly little hesitation. That seems like the right idea. Oji-chan! I embraced her damp body and looked up at the sky. It was evil to grieve about parting ways with Yomibito, huh? But perhaps she'd know everyone here wasn't actually insane. Well, I was an exception. We then walked around Yasumizu, barely saying a word. Then we reached a fork in the path. One led to the dorm and the other to the construction site. Here. Yeah? What? What should I call you? A new name for a new relationship. I had a good idea for this. Just Haruaki is fine. Let's go. Haruaki Nichan? No honorifics, just Haruaki. Partners in evil are equal. That's a bit hard for me. Only between us, though. Don't even use it in front of Kari-san. Not even Kari-san? I mean, she's a good person. Yeah, you're right. We'll kill her because we're evil, right? Exactly. Alright, Haruaki. Yeah, Haru-chan? Why do you get to call me with a chan? That's not fair. It's in my nature to want to call cute girls with a chan. I'm cute. Becoming evil made you at least 60% more cute. It's fucking true, dude. Chiemi became evil? 150% more attractive. She stabbed me in the gut 120% more after that. I guess I'm fine with it then. She extended her hand to me. I grasped it tightly. We're now dating 3 girls. Interesting. We would no longer be wolves of justice, but wolves of evil. Good night, Haruaki. Good night. I turned around. I hope you sleep well, city dweller. No, villain. Cold voice. Say God, just what is a god? Do not act like you don't know. Well, I do not mind this too much. The intensity, it is not unpleasant. You're the sort that enjoys playing with fire, aren't you? I walked off as if to get away from the laugh, which sounded strangely infuriated. This also seems like the bad path because we didn't get too much stuff. Haru is 15 years old. Well, that just made this really weird. My bad. Jemmy, though, still there. I just remember that the protagonist of that movie was actually the princess's brother. Wait, but then it took a turn when the princess got together with a wandering rogue. Maybe it was safer to let her call me Nichan. Key drops. This is the correct path? I'm curious. Is this the correct path? Let's see what happens when we choose Yoshitsugu. I think we lose then, right? We would kill Yoshitsugu Oribe. Killing the crow was a very logical move for the wolves. Even if Kanzo-san were alive, I didn't think anyone could imagine Kori-san was a wolf actively killing her sons. Still, it was important and we had a consistent story. Are you okay with going for Yoshitsugu-kun? Yoshitsugu, oh Yoshitsugu. Alright, I could finally put him to rest. I was getting pissed off again. It was because I was twisted in playing the part of the villain, yet the two of them were supposed to be acting like they were the good guys? Kari-san? Yes? Please kill him yourself. Otherwise the story wouldn't make sense. If the murder was done out of motherly love, the crime needed to reflect that ideology. Because there was no way she could do it, and then she would suffer. Suffer. Alright. You shouldn't be alright with it. I'll do it too. I'll let you do the whole thing yesterday. Be thorough. Don't leave a semblance of his original shape behind.
Come to pieces.
Why? So we don't leave any traces behind. If it's done after the killing blow, he won't suffer. See? Alright then. Are you good with that, Kori-san? Yes. Don't become... Suffer. His room was just to the rear of the dining hall. It was a small room used for storage that he started sleeping in since 2 years back. I was always concerned since Yasunaga moved into the dorm. It's sad, isn't it, how boys can't always live together? Like I cared. Go ahead. I handed her a grass sickle laying nearby. Do your best, please. Finally calmed down after watching Kaori-san wail as she chopped up her son. In the end, Haruchan just mostly watched blankly from the sidelines the whole time. Fair. By the time we had to carry Kaori-san back to the dining hall when she'd collapsed from exhaustion, my irritation had faded. Haruchan took care of undressing her. It would have been hard to redress her, so it seemed she just removed the outfit and put her to bed. You have gone completely mad, haven't you, city dweller? I'm not going mad. Then how could you corner Kaori-san like that with a faint smile? Because I was relieved? Huh? Generally, I live in accordance with the local common sense and sense of morality, so when those go mad, I have to go mad too. I was relieved that a part of Kaori-san didn't want to kill her son. Seeing her cry was a load off my chest. If she hadn't shown a single sign of remorse, I might have snapped and killed her. That is what is defined as going mad. Why's that? It's unfair for the one who went mad first to not take any responsibility. Splendid. I still cannot comprehend your abnormality. That is what attracts me to you. I think I'll make an exception and turn you down. Ooh, what a cold answer. And why? Because you're... No, never mind. Reluctant to part, are you? Shut up. Just now I felt like I was on the verge of realizing what God was, but that sensation vanished like mist, and I returned to the prefab with dissatisfaction lingering in my heart. Okay, so this is definitely the bad ending because it's giving us less information. That's what I'm deducing. I must have been really tired. I woke to the sound of someone knocking on the door. They were making quite a racket. Opened my eyes and looked out the window to see Haru-chan? Wake up, Fusashi-san, wake up! I quickly got up when I realized something wasn't right. What's wrong? Kaori-san's lost it! It was dangerous to talk about that sort of thing during the day. I looked around outside in a hurry, but couldn't tell if anyone else was there in the mist. Still, I invited her in and locked the door so we can continue. What happened? The first thing Kaori-san did when she got up was Ni-chan. It was then that I finally noticed Haru-chan's breathing was ragged. There were tear stains on her cheeks. So she just fucking up and murdered everybody. That's why this is a bad ending. Okay, she went crazy again. Calm down. There was so much blood. Sorry. Why are you apologizing? Because I'm the one who pushed Kaori-san that far? But in the end, we killed everyone together. Dude, holy shit. It's like they're multiplying. It sucks. I need to do something about this. You don't have to think it's right. You can't do that. Now wasn't the time to persuade her. I left her behind in the prefab and went outside. I armed myself with a stick to be safe and headed for the plaza, but by the time I got there, everything had been resolved. She's tied up. Or dead. The dining hall was a sea of blood. In the midst of it was a bloodstained corpse that apparently belonged to Yasunaga-kun. Behind the counter, I saw the adults, or rather Hashimoto-san, pinning Kaori-san down. Hashimoto leaned on Kaori-san, leaving her gasping for air and moaning in agony. She must have been hurt. Musashi-san, could you bring some rope and help me tie her up? I couldn't believe he still had a poker face on in times like these. A spurt of blood out of my chest, and his chest only accentuated the oddity of it all. Not that I was in any position to say anything about it. Alright, Rikako-san. Oh, this way. I took Rikako-san out of the ring of people surrounding Kaori-san and got what we needed. Kaori-san screamed in rage after being bound, but in the end, could do nothing as we locked her up in the dining hall. Though we were all present after I brought Haru-chan back, the oppressive atmosphere didn't fade. Are you okay, Haru-chan? Did Hasan do anything to you? Of course not. Don't talk to me. Haru-chan? First she lost her grandfather, and now the boy who'd been like an older brother to her. There was nothing that could possibly cheer Haru-chan up. Still, we had to do the feast, as well as decide how to handle Kaori-san before that. With Kanzo-san, Takumi-san, and Yasunaga-kun gone, Kinosuke-shi, Hashimoto-san, and I ended up with the biggest influence out of necessity. I was a little surprised that the two of them had agreed not to torture Kaori-san from the start. Maybe I was the one who messed up for finding that surprising, but the both of them were avoiding tormenting a fellow villager. Thus I played along with them, knowing it'd give me an advantage. On the other hand, there was the matter of how to deal with Kaori-san. While the people of Yasubizu were calling to hang her immediately, Hashimoto-san and Mamiya-san had different ideas. She broke the laws, yes? That means she will automatically be punished later, right? Leaving someone so terrifyingly and is definitely scary, but let's think calmly about this. We've lost the crow and another human on top of that. We can't get them back. There are 10 of us here, and Kanzo-san didn't seem like a wolf, meaning there are almost certainly 3 wolves left. If that girl, the badger, has turned to the wolf side, that means they have 4 votes. We humans still have the majority with 6 votes. Are you trying to say that gives us some breathing room? If we hang the wrong person today, we'll only have 4 votes against 3. I think it would be better to hang Madame Moribane and create a situation where we have 5 votes against 3, don't you? Sorry, what'd you say? True. Only the monkeys and the snake have revealed themselves right now. Speaking of which, what were the results of your investigation, Fusashi-kun? Seems like Haruchan's a human. That makes 4. And if Baker was the badger and Kori Oribe was a wolf, that means 2 of the remaining 4 are wolves. Isn't it more important to get rid of one confirmed wolf when an imbalance exists over betting on a 50-50 chance? Logically speaking, he was right. If the snake continued investigating with the spider protecting them, there'd be no more unconfirmed people before long. If the humans could kill a confirmed wolf, they'd have more than half the votes over the wolves and would gain plenty of time until they could secure their victory. However, I don't know the details since I wasn't there, but is Kuri-san really a wolf? Maybe she simply lost it after seeing the horrible state of Yoshitsugu-kun's body and ended up killing Yasunaga-kun as a result? No, she said it herself. She said she received the blessing of the Yamotsu Okami-sama, the true guardians, and that we were all Yomibito and thus she'd grant us salvation, that she'd save her son through death. Tei-san's eyes shifted towards the pool of blood. So Kuri-san had confessed everything. What a handful of a teammate she turned out to be. So fucking true. That story doesn't sound right, does it? I've heard that version of the story apparently exists in Kamifujiyoshi, but anyway, all we gotta do is decide who to hang in the feast. All we could do is leave Kuri-san behind. I see. I agree. What about the rest of you? No one objected. Let's take this to the hall. Oh, Koyonosuke Nosoto-san. What is it? You laid out your idea just now, but if we found another wolf, it would be a different story. I had a bad feeling about this. Uh-oh. Everyone had a drink. Let's begin the feast. Yeah, this is a bad ending. There's nothing. Oh, this is bad. Hashimoto-shi, I would like you to explain what you were implying. I have been doing some thinking. There are 2 wolves amongst us, yes? Shikamochi, Kamoshida-kun, and I are monkeys. Fusashi-kun is the snake, and Harumakashima-san is a human. Also, Mako-chan is likely the badger. No, I'm not. Let that lady go. Man, it must be tough being a wolf. You think so? She's a little girl, so many would be reluctant to lynch her. To the wolves, she's a vote that's hard to lose. Well, I have no intention of killing her myself. If the humans win, she shouldn't have to die. That's a side. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, the ones here who haven't been confirmed yet are Yamawaki-san, Inosato-san, Uematsu-san, and Kyu-chan. One of those 4 is a wolf. On paper, anyway. At this point, I tried thinking like a wolf, and I noticed something was off. Well, don't keep us in suspense. Tell us. I wasn't trying to keep you in suspense. Honestly, what I consider off is nothing more than an impression of mine. And when you suspect someone, you become cautious. With that said, I took what Oribe-san said into serious consideration, and it appears her killing was well-intentioned. Preposterous. Is it now? I was going to say the same goes for all of us after that. How? The wolves are the leaders of the Yomibito. They kill humans wielding corruption and grudges. Oh no, that's not what I meant. I was referring to the execution we all call hanging. It's believed that hanging someone brings them salvation, right? That it's better than being killed by the wolves. Well, yes. The wolves are in the same in how they also justify their own killings as being for the supposed good of others. And that side I would never understand. Hey, Hashimoto-san, that was originally my role. Are you sure about this? My apologies. Anyway, Kari Oribe-san acted into the belief that she wanted to kill her sons quickly for his own good. Thus, the desire to kill her sons must have been the first thing to have popped into her head, naturally. And yet she put herself at risk to kill Yasunaga-kun instead of waiting for night. Isn't that strange? Why wasn't Yasunaga-kun the first victim then? Serizawa was the first to die, but it was Muro who was the first to die at the hands of the wolves. Yes, that's right, Takumi Muro-san. Oh, Takumi, why? Is it that strange? She was always at the heart of discussions, so the wolves tried to sabotage that. That's also true, but my claim was that Oribe-san likely wanted to kill her sons. If so, I think it would have made a lot of sense for the wolves to have killed Yasunaga-kun. At a point, if we killed Yasunaga-kun, there was a good chance of us throwing the feast into emotional conservative chaos. What up, Blaze? How's it going? Which meant that Hashimoto-san's argument was, why was it that the wolves would go so far as to reject Oribe-san's opinion to target Muro-san instead? Maybe Kari-san wasn't that hung up on killing him at that point? True, that's not out of the question. There's a more likely possibility. After Serizawa-san stole her chance on the first day, and she was denied on the second day, Oribe-san felt driven into a corner and went berserk. Shit, how do you know? Why do you think that's more likely? I said she was a wolf. The point is that she didn't have a problem with that, but she admitted it herself, right? Had she caused that commotion with the approval of the other wolves, I don't think she would have ever said that. Curiously enough, I think Fusashi-san had it right. She could say it because she simply lost her mind and gone on a rampage. Were she simply feigning madness, I think we'd be worrying about it more right about now. I see. Uh-oh, this is not going well. So what you're saying is that everything went according to plan for the wolves up until Muro-san's death, but Kuribe-san didn't approve? Which is why she caused this commotion, right? Where are you getting at with this? In other words, the wolves insisted on killing Muro-san, and though they had restrained Oribe-san until yesterday, they lost control of her today. Those wolves are supposedly amongst those four, but honestly, that doesn't sound right. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. I'm sorry, that could be interpreted as me saying none of you look like you have the power to lead. First of all, let's start with the lady. She is an elegant woman who I can't see going out of her way to reject Oribe-san's somewhat valid proposal. Miyawaki-san is an elder, so she may have more power than Oribe-san. Would she really use that to force her to kill Takumi-san first? I would never do such a thing. That's sophistry. So long as Kuri-san was fixated on killing her beloved son quickly, it wouldn't be strange if things turned out the same way. What's gotten into you? This guy's trying to cast doubt on me. Would you keep quiet, Musashi-kun? I had to stop him. I had to stop him from swaying everyone's hearts. As for Nosato-san, you do not appear to be well liked by the people of your Subizu, so I don't think you could have cooperated with Oribe-san that well. Now you're making assumptions. Kuri-san always tried to maintain harmony, so maybe she just went along with Kyonosuke-san's decision the first time? I can't say I like hearing some of that, but I suppose you're right. Besides, I would have probably agreed to prioritize eliminating Yasunaga-kun over Muro. As for Kyu-chan, this basically goes without saying, but I don't think any of you would listen to what an outsider like her wanted. Well, you're right there. Besides, I don't have the makings of a leader in me. This means that the leader of the wolves isn't one of them. How bizarre. So maybe someone who we assumed to be confirmed a human was lying all along. Impossible. So that would have to mean that one who claimed they were the snake is actually a wolf. Alright, well, this is why this is a bad ending, and this is why there's no actual scene. This is why we lose. That's a lively imagination, no delusion you forgot there. Haven't you noticed, Fusashi-kun? You barely... Excuse me. You barely said a word today, and when you did, it was only to attack my arguments. Isn't it natural to fight back against someone trying to frame you? Hey, stop it! You say all that, but you seem quite irritated yourself. You're acting strange, too. Unfortunately, no matter how strange it may seem, I'm not a wolf. I'm a monkey, and yes, I am irritated. While I can't say I agree with people killing each other, given the special environment they were born into, I could at least understand it to some degree. Holy shit, this face! But an outsider who sneaks into the village and takes advantage of circumstances to commit crafty murders is truly revolting. Like I said, those are your own delusions, based on the whole insane premise that I'm some sly brute. Besides, didn't you say it yourself, an outsider can't lead the wolves? I don't know if you're partners or lovers or whatever, but those are some pretty ballsy double standards you have to protect Mamiya-san yet accuse me. Excuse me, I can't let that one pass. Are you messing around? Well, he may not be wrong. No, there's nothing going on between Hashimoto-san and I. There totally is. Good, it was a huge risk, but now I cast out on Hashimoto-san's side now. Now I just had to press some more in. You're not an outsider anymore. You've been welcomed as a member of this village. And I'd say that was a fairly sly act on your part. You forced your way into joining the village, then gained the minimum amount of trust. Was it all planned? Plus, if you had the guts and silver tongue to declare yourself a snake, you could have also Koholido Oribe-san, couldn't you? Cajoled, whatever. Oh, it seems you couldn't talk your way out of this one. Or was that what they call lack of trust? My condolences. Hashimoto wins, but we chose the right path first, but this is the wrong path. I'm sure you realized at some point that Takumi-san was probably the snake and decided to kill him. Who even are you to begin with? Why did you make your way into the settlement? Did you already know about all this? His verbal assault was entirely based on speculation, but it was a well-crafted story. What up, Soups? Like I said, those are all nothing but speculations. Of course it was, because it was the story I had actually put together. His deductions just happened to be right on the money, that was all. Then what if I said something that wasn't a speculation? If you got something, by all means, go for it. How did you know? Huh? Maybe you figured out last night's victim was Yoshitsugu Oribe-kun through process of elimination. But how did you know the state of his body? Maybe you didn't know, but his body was cleaned up long before you woke up. I don't know the details since I wasn't there, but is Kurei-san really a wolf? Dude, fucking flies! God damn! They're everywhere! You dyed my hair today? Nice! I need to dye my hair, but I'm broke. Maybe she simply lost after seeing the horrible state of Yoshitsugu-kun's body and ended up killing Yasunaga-kun as a result? I'd said something a wolf couldn't have known. What do you mean? Yes, all you can do is play dumb, right? Seriously, I don't know what you mean. Those delusions are... It's not up to you or I to decide if it's a delusion or a convincing hypothesis. Just then, everyone stared daggers at me. Let's vote, shall we? I'd been completely defeated. Still, I'm not a wolf. No, we lost. Naturally, everyone voted to hang me. Haruchan voted for me too, and she was right too. Cleaving off the lizard's tail was a good choice. She didn't need words to cover for me with. Do I mind pink and blue? Oh, I'm gonna go pink and silver. It's gonna be great. But first, I need to fucking deal with these fucking asshole flies. At any rate, 2 wolves have been eliminated in the same day. This was all Korea Ribe's fault. Was that the way I should think, or should I think that I'd handled her the wrong way? Seriously, was there a way for the wolves to achieve victory here? Was there a way to step over that brilliant cameraman's corpse and press onwards? I felt like I was playing a troll game designed to be impossible to win. I continued to lament the absurdity of my situation until the very moment my consciousness sunk into the mist. Game over. Didn't even get a key. Fucking rude, game. You done it now, eh, Chief? Yudai Hashimoto totally knocked you out. This was the highlight of the werewolf defeats, wasn't it? Anyway, let's get to the hint. 925. Mad Mommy equals total defeat death. The outcome would be really tricky, but you need to pick the other choice at that choice. What happens there will clearly be detrimental to the wolves, but a preferable outcome to this one. Well, it's one of the Courier Rebate's typical rampages, so you understand for yourself when you see the events that follow. Well, that's it for this time. Die another hairy death. Dude, I know we're only 2 hours in, but I'm like seriously considering ending stream specifically so I can just remake this concoction, put it next to my computer, and then just fucking pray that this works. God. Once again, reminder, do not leave food in your room. Don't even eat in your room. I'm just a loner who does that, but where the fuck did these all come from? Luckily, they're not on my main monitors, I don't think. They're just a... Oh no, that's on my main monitor. This is a dumb thing. Okay, I have an idea. Just need to think this idea. Okay, I'll be right back. Give me like 5 minutes, but I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, I'm back. Sorry. Um, Let me toss this in the trash. That's behind me. That should be fine. So what I did is I remade the concoction that I was told would like kill these flies, these fucking dumbass flies that are mine. I think he's asleep just wanting to play games. Fair. I think they're starting to leave the TV to fly over to the concoction. I'm hoping that because I put the concoction really high up, that they're gonna sense it, fly over there, try to drink it, and drown. I also turned off any fan. I turned off the air purifier that's in this room. Turned off anything that could reasonably mask its scent. I might have to just start spraying down this room in a little bit. I got them to start flying everywhere. I just need that concoction to fuck it up. But I at least have like 2 things of apple cider vinegar to like fuck them up. So as long as I can get them to, they should be fine. I'm hoping, it looks like they are, like I can faintly see them. So I'm hoping, I had to move a bunch of stuff, but the bowl is now in the highest place it could possibly be. Let's hope that works. We'll keep streaming. And if it doesn't work, I'm still a moron. Anyway, I still got another hour that I want to go. So we'll see. If I see a fly, I'll try killing it. I don't know what they're fucking smelling over. Well, I don't know. I still have cleaning to do. That's fine. And the entire left side is gone. The old fort was a human. The Spire did a good job. Someone died last night. That's all fine with you all? The next week's the Yomi Purge began with Yoshitsugu-kun saying those words. Since they couldn't let themselves relax, we all gathered in the hall early in the morning. Everyone was still on edge. I knew it. Tae-san's sentiments were shared by everyone present. Of course, everyone already knew that no one had died last night. Even so, no one was resting on their laurels. They were all hard at work thinking about what happened next and what they'd do about it. At this point, no one was stupid enough to suggest that the wolves were just being merciful. Kanzo Makishima-san left voluntarily, so we have to try and take it positively. We can consider whether it was good or bad after this is over. We can't turn back now. Are you okay, Haru-chan? I am. With better words, she didn't actually seem fine yet. It didn't feel unnatural, though. I could only assume that turning to evil freed her of any misconceptions about how she had to behave. She was now free to present herself however she wished. I didn't know if it would be good for us in the long run, but I didn't mind. Evil could look even at defeat with a positive spin. Consider my looping, though it wasn't something I could rely on all the time. Coming back after every defeat was one of the good things about evil. The promise was an unexpected boon for my own sanity too. Musashi-san, Maru-chan is a human? What a relief. Well, Oji-chan and I were human. Yeah. Wait. Takumi. Yeah, okay, sorry. I was like, wait, what happened? No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Excuse me. You know, it was a bad idea to open up another thing with this. That's fine. I'm like keeping an eye out, being like, oh fuck! Don't you dare knock that over. That would be terrible if that happened. Why are they so attracted to the TV? It's so weird. I'm sorry, y'all. This is just me being stupid. He was human, but you'd hang him. Yeah, I still haven't come to terms with it. Anyway, Yasunaga couldn't forcefully move the conversation along. Now we have 6 confirmed non-wolves. Haru-chan, Mochi, Hashimoto-san, Fusashi-san, Yoshitsugu, and I. Also agreed that Mako is the badger. That we have 7, leaving just 5. Why? What if Oji-san was right about the wolves are actually just making her say things to distract us? Trying to get a girl no older than 5 to say what they want seems far too risky. She could easily reveal too much. Also, she's an outsider and a little girl. Thus, it's absolutely necessary. Hanging her is something we shouldn't do. You don't say. We have people who still can't accept that we hanged Kanzo-san. It'd be even worse with her. Really? Apparently Haru-chan had decided to play subtle opposition to Yasunagi-kun. With her there to annoy him, he would feel less confident in his course of action. Also, by presenting herself as a victim who lost her grandfather, she would never be suspected by the others. Basically, she was doing a good job. Sounds like sophistry to me, but I admit I question the guilt of this child. Perhaps instead of removing her from the list of candidates, let the people decide whether they want to vote for her. Fine by me. Do we still have the right to speak? Of course, what is it? There's only 5 left, right? Yes. Then perhaps the game would be over if the spider revealed themselves? Yeah, that was something to be wary of. Progressing based on such optimistic ideas would actually make it difficult for us. If the spider protects someone among the 5, they could vouch that the person is human too. Wolves would attack other wolves after all. You're not wrong, but that sounds a bit optimistic. Well, it's just a thought. Optimistic. I don't think I get it. Explain it to me, Yasun. Because it's not worth it for the wolves to target one of the 5 that aren't confirmed humans yet. By killing them, they would reduce the amount of potential wolves. We should start with those who are confirmed. The snake, monkeys, and the crow revealed, they have no reason not to go for them. Exactly, after all, the spider protected Yasunagi-kun, a confirmed human. Even so, I didn't want the spider to out themselves and leave only 4 candidates, and increase the odds of the humans realizing there were imposters among them. I thought they'd go for the unconfirmed humans because they want to get rid of the spider. Even then, there's no point in going for the unconfirmed. Even I and Haru-chan could be the spider after all. There you have it. It probably wouldn't lead to an immediate victory. But if it actually is a situation where the spider revealing themselves reduces the unconfirmed humans to just 3, I would like him or her to do it. Even then, you would need 3 days to execute all the wolves, right? Right. So the spider would die for sure, right? Most likely. Do it for the good of the land. It's hard to expect them to out themselves in this situation. I'm sure Kyo-chan for one would never do it. Yes, if I were the spider, I would keep it a secret. No one played their cards. You people all understand that someone can get executed even if they're innocent, I assume. The silence said it all. Of course they did. Kanzo-san had died just yesterday, after all. The peer pressure was too strong, after all. Well, if the spider is prepared to die and reveal themselves, we could create a majority. That's true. Our combined votes would lead to certain victory. Right now, it was 6 vs 6. It didn't feel right to consider Mako as a confirmed, so right now, the sides were tied. Also, the remaining 4 could be reduced to 3, correct? The wolves among the 4 know who the other wolves are, so we would know for sure who they are. We would have to watch their reactions and remain observant for other signs. Come out already, Spider. Silence. Dumbass. The spider didn't reveal themselves. So one of you 4 is a spider. I don't think it's just an Naga. I mean, it could be. No, it can't be, because we just tried to kill him. So it is literally just one of those 4. Perhaps my assumptions were wrong and the spider was Mamiya-san, who was just being careful not to get hanged. The spider was wary of potential wolves among the humans, and they were absolutely right about that. In the best case scenario, we would win the day after tomorrow. If the wolves and Mako were alive for when there were 8 people left, the wolves could reveal themselves and take in the badger as another vote. However, since we would lose Carrie-san after we should kill the Oribe brothers, the best case scenario was probably impossible. I would have to focus on trying to hide the fact that there were humans among the wolves. It'd all be over for us if they somehow determined the 3 final suspects today, hanged one of them, and the crow declared them as human tomorrow. They would immediately realize that the snake was lying. Thus, we needed a situation where it took longer for the rest to be confirmed. The spider acting cautiously worked in our favor. Of course, the spider themselves remained a major threat to us. But still, we now had no choice but to use our nighttime's kills to prevent a fixed majority. Identifying the spider and leading people to be executed required a subtle hand during the feast. It doesn't look like we could lower the number even further, so we'll have to hang one of the remaining 5. Count the child. I know I might sound annoying, but our lives are on the line here. Right, it's 6, not fine. Stand up. Mako, stand. Don't tell me what to do! She still stood up. What a good girl. She was followed by Kiyonosuke-shi, Rikako-san, Kore-san, Tei-san, and Mamiya-san. Starting from this side, I would like you to tell us 2 things. Why we shouldn't vote for you, and who other than yourself do you believe is a human? Clever. Teba, please start. I'm human, that's all I know. But look at this. Only the elders are dying. Doesn't that mean that the youngins brought this corruption upon us? What? It definitely wasn't only the elders, but it did look like the spaces around her were kind of empty. That must have been especially hard to her, who lost both Kanzo-san and Takumi-san. Oh, big shame, huh? All that's left on your side are the village heads you love so much and my old hag, all middle-aged. If you're saying that the journal woman and the brat are Yomibito, you ain't got the numbers for it. What about you? You just said you're the crow, like that's enough. The hell you just say? Yoshitsugu, please stop. I'm in danger of being hanged too. Can I sit now? Standing's hard on my bones. You stand a bit longer. Yasuo-kun, what a bad child you've become. I'm sorry, I don't want any further chaos. Next. Tei-san must have felt pretty cornered. She didn't have to hold such a grudge. I'm not a wolf, I swear it upon my two sons. Do you have anything else? I don't know what he wants from this. I had a decent opinion of Takumi Muro-san. Taking that angle, huh? You even talked about remarrying to my sons. Seriously, Yasun? Yes, I said it was up to her. I said that he wouldn't want a hag with brats for a wife. Well, Takumi Ni was the best guy left in the shitty place, but I feel weird having him for a dad. From the way he put it, it was safe to say he approved of the man. I would have easily accepted if he asked, but thought that approaching him myself would have seemed overbearing. I never expected things to turn out this way. If I were a wolf, I certainly wouldn't kill him first. That is all, and the person I believe is human is Hisako Mamiya-san. She's remained level-headed and has been providing our side with good advice. Thank you very much. In the end, you're just an outsider too. First-san was basically implying that Tei-san, Kinosuke-shi, and Rakako-san, the village heads aligned, were the wolves. It was an emotional argument, but with the additional layer of logic she added, her idea showed merit. Man, that woman sure was something. This was the same person who had applauded when I killed Takumi-san. Masato-san, you're next. A reason why I should stay alive, right? I understand that you consider me to be the most unnecessary person here. However, I don't see any good reason to hang me. Have I ever troubled you? Well, he was relatively laid back this time. He should have been more conscious of the ire his words had drawn for him. There's one thing I want to say, though. It's about what Madame Aribe said 2 days ago. What is it? You'd forgotten? When Chieme Serizawa died, you made the baseless claim that she was a wolf. Then you used it as justification to suspect Rukaku Uematsu-san, who had merely proposed the reason for her suicide. You crafted a negative interpretation of a harmless suggestion, and then directed votes against someone in a difficult position. That seemed like the actions of a wolf to me. Don't you believe the village heads are crucial to surviving the situation? I was simply suspicious, even if it seems unreasonable to you, since I am not a wolf myself. I see your assumptions as mistaken. That is all from me, and before I forget, I believe the human is Rukaku-san. Thank you very much. Oh, he was actually completely right. How would they react to that? Thank you. Next. There's something I must say first. Yes? I'm still 27. What? Oh, yeah, she's not middle-aged. Oh, this was her reply to the idea of being middle-aged. Does everyone realizes that? Oh my god. I got 2 for the price of 1 with that hit. Never mind. It's not going well. Dude, fucking smell the shit. Does everyone realize that? Some cleared their throats awkwardly, while others stifled some chuckles. The tense air dissipated a bit, but she looked as serious as ever. If this was intentional humor, I'd say she had some talent. In 27, she was still in her prime. From what Shimi had said, I assumed she was almost 40 or something. What a shame that I'd have to kill her. As one of the village heads, I am fully aware of Fujiyoshi's misdeeds and his very dark past. I understand that you would consider me to be one of the conspirators behind the feast. However, I must continue fulfilling my role as the spider. Oh, that's interesting. Are you saying that you were the spider, as in the one who received the power of the spider? No, I refer to the Uematsu. You're confusing us. I see, continue. If you consider me an eyesore suspicious, please vote for me. Taking in your feelings is one of the spider's roles. That approach worked for Chimi, but Rakaku-san not so much. So who do you think is human? I do not believe that a single one standing is a wolf. What? Rakaku-san, I appreciate that, but even Karui-san, she slandered you thoroughly. I understand wanting to be suspicious. It is not truly impossible that Serizawa-sama was a wolf. But from what I see, the 5 of you seem to believe that the feast shall end if we hanged everyone standing. That would mean that either Yoshitsugu or Fusashi-san are a fake crow and snake. You would be suspicious too, since you would have been proven innocent by a false snake. Seriously? She was saying that there were wolves among the confirmed humans, which turned the current assumption on its head. Of course, both Yasunaga-kun and Hashimoto-san were suspicious of that too, but I certainly didn't expect her of all people to bring it up now. Fusashi-sama. I have feelings for you. Yeah, we knew that. That caused a stir. Yeah, I knew that. For some reason, she believed it was some heavenly savior sent to rescue the town from its true problems. She even risked her life in that conviction. However, if you actually are a wolf, I will do as Shinai-sama says and hang you. But if I opposed her sense of right, even I would become an enemy to her. I might have taken her too lightly. Are you saying that you doubt him more than anyone else? No, it is simply my personal worst-case scenario. I have nothing more to say. Understand next, Mamiya-san. I'd love for it if the snake finally confirmed that I'm clean. I have nothing to hide after all. But since there are people who act more suspiciously than me, the investigations and hangings will surely be directed at them first. That's why I won't insist that you investigate me. My justification this time is simple encouragement to prioritize those more suspicious than me. Another thing, if I was a wolf, I would have killed Hashimoto-san before anyone else. Her statement hit everyone with the force of a hammer. Well, that is scary. I don't know if you realize this, but Hashimoto-san has been helping guide the feast even outside of these discussions, keeping everything stable all the while. Without him, the feast would have been far more disastrous, since I'm neither afraid nor has he been killed and no wolf. Haha, you overestimate me. But thank you for your concern. I'll make one thing clear. Hashimoto-san is an extremely huge help. Ugh. Like Mamiya-san says, he's one of the main reasons why we're not just an unruly mob. I just figured that if the wolves were underestimating him, it wasn't a good idea to draw attention to their mistakes, so I kept quiet. Mamiya-san, I agree with your words, but maybe you should have kept quiet. Well, I only said that because I thought all of you were underestimating him. I'm not. Even though you didn't give him a chance to speak and insisted on lynching yesterday? We have our own lines that must never be crossed. That's it. That's all I need to say about that. I see. As for the people I think are human, no comment. If I decide that one of them is human, then the other three would be wolves, but like Uematsu said, that doesn't seem right. It's easy to present someone who might be human, but this would be basically a pointless witch hunt. I don't like it personally. Yes, neither do I. At least you're mindful of that. Thank you very much. Lastly, hang everyone, I'm hungry. That was it, huh? Yeah, that's Mako. Mako's a badger. So, who's shady? I believe that the two who didn't present a candidate as human are suspicious. What? Yasunaga. It seemed like a bad move to me, Yasunaga-kun. I could understand relating to the level-headed ones, but the other three were just following the process provided. I could also understand trying to appear objective enough to suspect even your mother, but I couldn't blame anyone for thinking he was just acting biased. I did not choose because I believe the rest were wolves. Well, you're all in on Richan, so it's not like anyone will suspect you. No, that's enough. The fact that Mochi said that right after Makako-san's declaration just showed how bad he was at reading the mood. It was awkward for everyone, human or wolf. Anyone else have anything to say? If not, I'd like to start the vote. You sure are in a hurry. I simply do not believe there is anything left worth discussing. We should just do what needs to be done. You seem to be treating this pretty lightly. No, I'm simply ready to take responsibility for any deaths I cause. So this was his brand of righteousness this time, huh? Oh, Yasunaga. Doing crazy shit. I wonder if I should put... Yeah, I'm gonna put one. Everyone, I do not want to bring outside values into this, but making a high school student bear such a burden is normally considered cruel. What else can we do? Leave it to you, the eldest confirmed human, or Fusashi-san. I see. Then Fusashi-kun? Yes? Would you like to take charge of the feast? I thought that the role was entrusted to Yasunaga-kun yesterday. I accepted it. However, I don't intend to take complete control over the feast. I'm not Kazu-san. Yeah, Nichan's different. If you can be sufficiently responsible about it, then yes, I don't mind giving this... Sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't mind giving this role to Fusashi-san or Hashimoto-san. They seem a lot wiser than I am. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing a good job. It's just hard for you to fight adults, right? I'm actually prioritizing my own survival above all else. No one would believe me if I claimed to take responsibility here. Now him, a man who struggled in life, found a place here and bears the burden of the snake. A role that measures lives would be far more convincing. What do you say, everyone? An-chan gave the job to Yasukun and Mawaki-sama, but I believe Fusashi-sama would judge us fairly. Don't you suspect that he might be a wolf? Kamoshida-sama, I never said that. I merely said that I was prepared for it. I don't like it. Tae-san, that wasn't a good move. She was helping you out here. I don't care what the old hag thinks, but Aniki should be leading this shit. My son is still young, while Fusashi-san seems to be well-adjusted. Agreed. He'd be a lot better at taking charge. I also think it should be him. Fusashi-san was against hanging Oji-chan. I don't get it, so screw it. I don't understand where he's going with this, but I trust Hashimoto-san's judgment. Fusayuki-san's a dummy. Mako, please. Why? Only 2, no 3 are against it. Seems like you have a lot of support here, Fusashi-kun. This wasn't the time to worry about Tae-san. We're counting on you. Nonsense. Kiyonosuke was probably right. The leader of the feast had no special rights. Their vote held no weight over everyone else's, and like Yasunaga-kun said, it was a heavy burden to carry. Everyone's eyes were on the one at the top, and if there was some cause for concern, they would readily tear them apart for it. Basically, this was just a very well-intentioned trap. Alright, thus I would take the bait. I was evil after all. I would take control of the feast and play the hero, yet so chaos like the villain I was. I couldn't fail with my partner in evil watching me after all. Though all we could do right now is vote. If you want to call off the feast, though, well, I now realize that's pointless. Very well, I don't want to make Wakako-san do it every time, so I would be the one writing down this time. Do you know how to use a writing brush? I haven't touched one since elementary school, but I'm sure I can make it somewhat readable. My hands are restless, you see. I was tempted to act like a chief secretary, but passed when I realized they probably wouldn't get it. Before that, who will you investigate tonight? One of the 6 standing. Any reason you're not saying which one? Make sure the wolves don't get them before I do. Wolves don't want there to be more confirmed humans, after all. I see. I would twist logic into knots if that's what it took for an advantage. I'll start writing, so let's just begin. So one of the 6 is going to die. As long as it's not Kaori, we're in a good position. Kishimoto-san, keep an eye out in case there's something wrong with the records. All right. From the eldest. One for Yoshitsugu Oribe. The Crow. Tay is stupid beyond all belief. Hey, just so you know, I can't lose this vote. Hey, you got any idea how shitty you look right now? Hang me then. I'm saying that for your sake, damn it. What a rotten old hag. You young'uns are the rotten ones. Shut up, you two, I'll kill you. Huh? Oh, rough. I'm kidding. Such poor taste. The joke was meant to shut people up, you know. Feel free to give a few words along with your vote and comment on them if you want, but don't waste time bickering. I'll deal with disorder appropriately. Choose your words carefully. If you want to fight, take it outside, and if you kill anyone in the process, you'll regret it. We're talking about killing someone here. Keep that in mind the next time you speak. Sounds like there's a deeper meaning to what you said. Near more than meets the eye. If anyone else has objections to how things are going, please speak now. Please do not say that you will kill someone. Very well. Now Kaori-san. Tei Yamawaki-san, because I sincerely believe that Yoshitsugu is the real Crow. Sato-san. Lady Yamawaki, unfortunately it appears that the elders of Yasumizu lose the ability to cooperate whenever a feast comes. I agree with Fusashi-kun that there must be order in. Leave it at that, please. I'm sorry. Yasunaga Oribe-kun, you're next. Tei Yamawaki-san. You people, you just said to hang you. You have more than half the chance to pick a wolf, even when you pick at random. This is fine. The 3rd vote for Yamawaki-san. Mochi, you're next. Mommy Kaori, I guess. He's not acting like herself right now. There's no way our hag's a wolf. I suppose trying to think things through was a mistake. Please don't take your grudges from the votes outside of the feast. Next, Yoshitsugu-kun. Obviously, Tei Yamawaki, the old hag. 4 votes, she's in the lead. Next, Haru-chan. 1 for Kaori-san. What a power move from Haru-chan. Damn! If she was a wolf, she would have already poisoned the food and killed everyone, even if it meant being killed by the corruption. You really knew her well. That's just a maybe, isn't it? Why are you taking like it's confirmed? You're the one who killed Oji-chan just because he got mad. You could have objected to it when he was still alive. Even he might have changed his mind if his granddaughter asked him to. Not everyone can say whatever they want, whenever they want. Stop it, you two. I was worried that this would continue after the feast. If you ask me, Haru-chan has a point. Not everyone can say or do the perfect thing when it counts. But the feast demands that we do our best. Our decisions and actions are directly related to the results from the voting. Unfortunately, what Kanzo-san did yesterday was unacceptable to most people. It's best to consider that the cause of what happened to him. It's awful, but there are heavy responsibilities involving your behavior here. Keep that in mind. Also, please avoid accusing others of biases. Think of for yourselves instead. Damn, they're shutting people up left and right. Kakko-san, you're next. 1 for Mako. Now this I didn't expect. Mako is most likely the Badger. She is the only one here who is obviously working against us. With no one else being an obvious threat, I believe I should prepare to get rid of her, just in case. I hate you! Next, Mako-chan. Usayuki-san! If this wasn't a serious subject, I'd fall to my knees in exasperation. She didn't even change even in this situation. It probably didn't matter to her at all. She'd have seen me as an enemy regardless. Though maybe fighting the Badger wasn't so bad. It reinforced the idea that I wasn't a wolf. I'm next. I had to use the voting order to my advantage here. 1 for Mako. Huh? Why was she shocked? We could laugh it off now, but if she voted for me when I had multiple votes, my life would be in danger. Next, there was another reason for my choice. We had 2 voters left. Tae-san was the current top with 4, then Kaori-san and Mako were tied for second with 2. So if there's a tie, we might be able to go for something. We also might be able to get rid of Kyori, and then we have a safer option. If Amiya-san and Hashimoto-san joined forces, they could bring either of them to 4 and take it to a final vote. By forcing them to make this choice, it would crush their ability to remain neutral. Also, I was pretty sure at this point that Tei-san would die. As I was the current leader of the feast, I would be given the role of pushing her off the hanging pine. Excuse me, if I voted for her, she would hold a grudge, making the whole process a bit harder. Show me the votes so far. Here. Hashimoto-san, which of these do you think is the most suspicious? Yamawaki-san, Ribe-san, or Meiko-chan? Did you vote by yourself? I didn't get any votes this time, but I'm still not confirmed to be human, so I want to give it to you, the monkey. Well, I hope that makes you more trustworthy. I'll say it then. I vote for Fusashi-kun. Everyone was shocked. Can I have a reason? I don't have one yet. Huh? I'm a bit suspicious of you, but my foundation for that is very weak at this point. I don't have reason enough to truly suspect you. I'll mention it once that changes. Okay, is that a bluff or no point in voting like I did, huh? Are you sure? We have a result now. It's the results of other people's votes. Alright, well I look bad if I went back on my statements. Like I said, I'll vote the same way as you did. Oh, also I fully agree with letting Fusashi-kun be in charge. He even said we should be responsible for what we say and do. An excellent leader. Thanks. 2 votes for me. Yes. The results are in. Tei Yamawaki has the most votes at 4, meaning she will be hanged. Yasumizu is truly damned now. Dude, the entire left side is just... Is it just gonna sweep down? It's gonna be Tei, then Kaori, then Kyonosuke, then it just goes... It's gonna be weird. No, it was your attitude that damned you. Though I would end Yasumizu anyway. Do your job as the snake. As I held the rope, she told me that. Certainly. I worked as a fake snake, though. I gave her the usual rise not feel and pushed her. The moment she fell, she let out a sharp sound like tearing cloth. No! Of course she would. No one wanted to die. Yasumizu people, old people, no one at all. Perhaps she wasn't as prepared for this as she was last time. The tense rope seemed to shake from her struggling longer than last time. And then, Tei Yamawaki died. Another one. I don't need food today. That was what he said after the feast ended. Why? I suspected Mami Kaori, so it'd be kind of awkward. It really didn't seem that way. He said that with Kaori-san nearby, and with his full smile at that. I don't mind. It's important to suspect everyone. Thanks, but I already decided. I'll have some tomorrow. Though, sorry, Mami Kaori. Bye. Wait, where are you going? To the dorm. It is dangerous in the mist. I don't know why I did that voice. It is dangerous in the mist. About that, if there really was something there, I think something might have already happened when we went back to our rooms in the evening. That's true, and it's not like there's a law that says we should all spend the day together. I'm not worried either. What? Then I shall go back too. I'm not wasting my time here. What an ominous line. Though I do think we should be in a group. After all, other people might start to worry that you use the mist to do something. Oh, so it's possible that I'll attack someone. I'm glad you understand. Okay then, bye-bye. He pranced into the mist. Oh dear, he has me beat. I'm sorry, Mochi is the kind of person who doesn't care if he bothers someone. Rosato-sama, you should be more adult about this. Oh, yes, of course. I'm not hungry either, bye. Oh crap. Haru-chan, wait, were you even listening? People protested, but no one jumped out to stop her, so she ended up running away. This wasn't her just distancing herself from Kaori-san. This was the breaking up of the high school trio. Mochi was no longer comfortable around Yasunaga-kun or Haru-chan. I didn't know which. Either way, they were through. And Haru-chan was still awkward about what she told Yasunaga-kun in the feast, or at least acted like it. Don't mind it unless they're hiding something. They're gonna apologize later. Yes, Yoshitsugu, can you help me? Huh, what a bother. Screw it, I'll do it. Fusashi-san, can you go check on them? I can do that too. It's not a good time, Yasunaga. Sure, I'll do it. Accepted it, then waited a moment for any objections, only to get none. Last time Takumi-san had said that the snake shouldn't go outside. Did they just not think about all that at all, or had I already lost everyone's trust? Tell them to not worry about this too much. Alright, Rikaku-san, I'm going out for a second to try and be a responsible adult. He's still trying to be his tough guy act. We're trying to confront his brother and meet Grayling to help his mom. Yeah, he's still trying to put on the act, but that's what rebellious teenagers do. Also, I think these flies are starting to get really bad. And this is... Once again, it's my fault that this happened, and I'm sorry I keep bringing it up. It's just starting to become annoying because, like, most of the stream is me talking and then swatting in front of the camera because I'm an idiot. So what I think I'm going to do is when we get to a choice, whether it happens at night or whether it happens, like, or if we get whatever happens first, if we get to a choice or if we get to like a feast screen is when we'll stop the stream. And then tomorrow we'll do hopefully a long enough stream to where we get to the end of the first run. I could be wrong and we're still eons away, but we'll see. I have, once again, a lot to do, but I need to get rid of these flies because otherwise I'm going to go insane. And there might be what's making me sick. Who knows? I'm just an idiot. This is not fair. Sorry. No, I didn't really know what she meant by not fair, but now I was even more confused. Children are not fair. They're worried about even if they do whatever they like. What a simple emotion. Hearing that made me kind of worried about you. Really? Well, my heart is throbbing quite wildly right now. Are you okay? Should I give you a massage? No, it went away just now. Good job, Yunosuke. How could you behave like that in this situation? I'm going. The order of things had began to crumble. True. I took some items from the prefab and went to the dorm. Staying in front of Harchan's room, I knocked on her door. Who's there? Musashi. She opened the door. Ooh. Kimono? What do you want? She sounded moody, but there was none of the harshness from before. It felt more like she was perplexed. She was probably thinking that I might have come here as a wolf. I was going to say something, but seeing your outfit caused my mind to go blank. What about it? This is what I wear inside my room. I figured no one wore this kind of thing since the war. Oh, I just remembered that Yasumi's people frequently survived on hand-me-downs. This was probably from someone else here. It was the exact opposite of her usual weird fashion, but it was strangely fitting. It was probably her face. It went well with distinctly Japanese fashion, no matter the era. Anyway, here, eat up. What's this? In my hands, I had orange boxes of food, the same kind Chiemi had given me for the first time. They're like cookies. They're easier in your stomach. Take 3. Oh, I've never tried these. Thanks. You're hungry, right? You shouldn't force yourself. But it's awkward. Yeah, I understand. I'll apologize to Kari-san later. And to Yasunaga-kun tomorrow. Yeah. Anyway, see you. She closed the door. You're sharing with me too, right? Turned around but didn't see anyone. Good job. I'm over here. He sure was. His face was right outside the railing on the second floor, almost right next to my feet. Huh? You jumped from the first floor? Like I could. I just grabbed on from the staircase and climbed my way over. Wow, are you a monkey? I can't get down or up. What are you doing? Help me, Hassan. I went down to the first floor, waited until I let go and caught him. He was pretty light for a guy, so this wasn't a challenge. Made you blush, didn't I? Well, he did look like a small, cute girl, but I'd seen something I'd rather not while I was looking upwards, so he really didn't. Ah, Dick has been seen. What are you doing? Fishing for laughs? I just thought you would spill the beans. Huh? I just think that Haruchan isn't the type of girl to go on the offensive like that. I know there's the whole thing with her grandpa, but it's weird to make it Yasun's fault, right? Was she just redirecting her frustration with her grandpa at him? But that'd be weird too. The Haruchan I knew wouldn't say anything that make it seem like she's blaming them. She'd just shrug it off. That's why I thought that you might have done something to her. What do you think? No way? Actually, it was hard to say that I didn't. What the hell was up with this guy's intuition? I just came here to scold you guys a bit and give you some food. Oh yeah, gimme! I did that and he instantly opened it. Oh, sweets, huh? Oh, it's sweet, but really good. I love it, Hassan. Don't force yourself if you're that hungry. I just thought it was in danger of being poisoned. Hassan wouldn't do that. I feel like it would have already happened if someone was there to stop her. What are you getting at? Can you go a minute without making weird assumptions? I don't think that Mami Kure is a wolf. Or I do think that Mami Kure is a wolf. If I said that with everyone around, everyone would just think I'm a bother, right? That's why I'm saying it to just you. So you trust me? Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't do anything that earned you the corruption, right? I feel like you're hinting at something with every sentence you say. If you really are, just let me just tell you that that's not getting across. Really? Human society sure is difficult. What a child of the wild thing to say. Anyway, eat up, shelter, and sleep, and apologize to Kuri-san tomorrow. If I feel like it. Anyway, it's early, but good night. Hassan, are you and Haruchan wolves? I couldn't let that question trip me up. Oh, it's fine. I don't care if you are or not, or if I'll die or not. I just had a hunch that she grew stronger thanks to teaming up with someone. What they're after might be a good thing or a bad thing, though. But if it makes her happy, I'm okay with that. Hey, why are you acting like that's true? Huh? It isn't? Why are you suspecting me? Of course it isn't. There's no reason, I'm just thinking aloud. Be more confident. I really couldn't. You know how you have to show your work at school? I get a lot of answers right, but if I don't show my work, I don't get credit. Fucking true, dude. That was the worst thing at school when that happened. So bad. I really don't understand proof or whatever. I just know things. So, I could be wrong, but I really don't care. Never tried killing anyone, but from what I saw in the hangings, it really didn't seem all that fun or interesting. I want Yasun to survive and become happy, but that's probably impossible. Yeah, Kuri-san was a wolf after all. So yeah, just saying whatever comes to mind. Do your best, Hassan. Oh, I almost forgot. Thanks, Hassan. Leave some of these on my grave. He tore off another aluminum package and all smiles. After that, I left the dorm. What she knew. There was no logic behind it, he just knew. Despite that, he said he wouldn't do anything. That was a lie. He already voted for Kuri-san, so he was definitely following his intuition. He'd probably vote for me at some point, just because it seemed kind of shady. However, like he just said, no one would take his baseless accusations seriously. Even so, a vote was a vote. I was getting more and more of them. Would I survive? Become? What did she mean by that? I really didn't understand. Sorry, Kuri-san, I even voted for you. It's fine, I knew you were just acting. Did you see how perplexed Yasunaga was? Your acting was really good too. I really like how you mentioned Takumi-san. We're the ones who killed him. An act where they praised each other's acting. After I met up with Haru-chan and came to the dining hall, she started talking to Kuri-san like this. In Kuri-san's case, this was a side effect of the madness born of her emotions and sense of right. In Haru-chan's case, it told her to behave around Kuri-san, so I was relieved to see she did. So, what do we do today? Once that nonsense was finished, she put on a serious expression. The situation was difficult and tense. Though it was just his intuition, Chikamochi Kamoshida was getting real close to finding us out. I told this to Haru-chan, who said, but it's just Mochi, since he wasn't really influential. She wasn't wrong, but it was entirely possible the humans would reach for any possible lead out of desperation. Also, killing him would reduce the number of confirmed humans, and getting rid of him early would prevent any info from leaking. The humans would wonder why the wolves would go for him, which could probably be pretty bad for us if anyone saw me talking to him. Then there was Yudai Hashimoto. He was antagonistic toward me in the most direct way. He set me up as the leader and would now try to expose me. His strange actions, like his vote, probably drew everyone's attention. If his words tomorrow were convincing enough, the idea that it was dangerous to have me as a leader would spread even further. I couldn't help but feel it was best to get rid of him early, but it was probably too late for that. I'd definitely be suspected if I killed him now, but I wasn't completely defenseless. Though I was also concerned about how we still hadn't fulfilled the promise to kill the Oribe brothers. Why? Because I had no idea what Kuri-san would do if we postponed that again. If only she was more cooperative. Yasunaga Oribe was as influential as always, and was considering my words as the new leader very carefully. Though he was a lot less powerful than he was at the start, not to mention he'd been protected by the spider once already. If that happened again, our situation would be really dire. Yoshitsugu Oribe, however, was better left alive for now. Like always, he supported his brother while being staunchly opposed to the elders and village heads. People who fragmented the group were helpful to us. The crow was dangerous at first glance, but as a false snake, I would only be in danger if his information contradicted mine. In other words, if there were no contradictions, I could use him to strengthen my credibility. Then there was the spider. To get rid of them, we had to kill either Hisako Mamiya or Rikako-san. However, there were more immediate dangers. Right now, I had to pick one of those three. So the right thing to do is killing Yasunaga, because once again, it's moving down the line. Hashimoto is probably a wrong choice, and so is Chikamochi, because I think Mochi legitimately would not care. But we're going to save that for tomorrow. So let me bring y'all up to speed about what tomorrow is going to entail, because I'm hoping that this situation that I put myself in gets rectified. I work a short shift tomorrow, so right when I get back home, Raging Loop. Like, the goal is to do about 4 to 5 hours of a Raging Loop stream. I'm thinking like 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock, something like that. And then we'll be doing another stream from 10 to like 2 because I have enough time. So we'll be doing 2 streams tomorrow, a long Raging Loop stream just to see like what more needs to be done in this game. I don't know how much we have left. I'm hopefully finishing this before we get to our next game, but we'll see. But we'll go from there. I would go longer, but like this situation is starting to get really bad and it's starting to really irritate me, but it's my own fault. So I'm going to have to fix all this. So yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for the stream for today. I apologize for the short stream, but we'll be back tomorrow with Raging Loop. I am going to fix the situation myself in. So yeah, with that, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed Raging Loop. Have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, night, or evening. Of course, my name is Katafi. I'll see you all next time for some more Reddit gaming. See you later. Peace. Bye, everyone.